Odyssey app.
All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
Ready, 185. Here we come. Here we come. It's a man's game now. Here we go.
Happy Football Wednesday, everybody. What is happening?
I knew you'd get
You
those
knew
football
I'd get that
cadences
in.
in
You got to
there.
get it in. We got football tomorrow, baby, 10 a.m.
We do.
We got a 10 out of 10 on the pitch and a 10 scale on those first two games.
We got any action today? Is there any football in our lives today?
I actually think there's no football today.
I'm going to tell you this.
I thought there was action yesterday.
There
UMass
was.
played yesterday.
I think
Minutemen.
yesterday ended the 49-day streak of football. We had 49 days in a row where there was some football game.
I thought I read that
There's
was
no game
supposed to
today.
not be a thing until January.
No,
I thought I read that.
I saw a tweet yesterday that said with the Maction and the Bowling Green UMass and Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan
Yes.
playing ended a 49-day streak of
nothing tomorrow.
football.
And then on Thanksgiving, the
Nothing
only
today.
college game, nothing today, sorry.
Yeah.
The only college game on Thanksgiving is Navy at Memphis.
Massive game.
that is a big game.
What are the American play-in scenarios for their conference title game? Have we spent any time on that?
No.
Because they got to win the conference title to be the Group of Six representative, and I think Navy's still alive in that.
Can I tell you this?
You fire away, Bob.
I don't care, nor will I follow any Group of Six playoff situations. Just tell me who's in.
Just tell me at the end
I'm
of the day
not
who
diving
gets there.
into reading playoff tiebreakers.
Who could it be?
or-
Who could it be?
I don't know half the conferences these teams are in. I'm just like, oh, Memphis is hot. Now
How
it's
about that?
Tulane. Now it's Navy.
There are 3 one-loss teams in the American Conference
There you
in
go.
conference play. North Texas, who just lost their coach, but not yet.
Okay.
Tulane,
Well,
who might lose their coach,
they did
but
lose
not
their
yet.
coach.
Well, not yet. He's coaching out the year.
Okay.
He's finishing the year. Okay. He's not walking away from a
Sure.
title run.
Sure.
And Navy, they are all one-loss teams in the American Athletic Conference.
Well, it's a nice Wednesday. We have a lot to be grateful here.
Grateful for, very
here.
grateful for a lot of things.
It's nice to be in. It's a weird show. It's going to be a weird show, but in a good way.
Yes,
Yesterday felt like today was a day off to me
kind of did. Yeah,
because I knew we had so much to get to on the show,
there's not really a lot of prep that goes into this one.
and I don't think anybody's really going to be in our office today.
No.
And so it's just and my kids are off, and I got woken up by a loose hamster, and
Hey, whoa, running around the house.
got out of the
Ruh-roh.
cage again.
Uh-oh,
Yeah,
that's not
under the stove, and I'm like, oh no, the hamster's loose. I had to wake my wife up.
under the stove.
Yeah.
That can't be easy to entice out of from underneath the stove.
Well,
You go
here's-
A
flashlight. Do you
hamster's
move?
been working too much on the wheel. It pushed the little metal
Yeah.
cage up or something.
Getting big, huh?
If you remember the update, hamsters at night, if you have a hamster and it
Oh,
has
yeah.
a wheel,
They
they
run, like,
run
8 miles.
Just run,
A day.
run.
Yeah.
Which, hey, why not? You're cooped up in a cage all day. You might as well stretch those
He
legs
just
out.
got
Well-
Eminem playing in his ear.
Yeah, I
Lose
mean,
yourself in the music, the moment, own it.
the good news is they're underrated fat, so if you get one loose, you put a little food next to where you think they are, guess who comes crawling out? 'Cause they
That's
can't
how you
resist.
get 'em.
Simple creatures.
Oh, yeah, simple creature.
Want
Just
a
like
little-
us.
Want a little cracker? Yeah, I want a cracker.
Of
I'll
course
come
I want
out.
a cracker.
Fine, I'll
Daddy
get
needs
that.
a cracker.
What if we were attacked by aliens and it was an alien that wanted to catch us and either eat us or test us? What's the food item you think would trick you and coming out of the cave or wherever you're hiding and be like, "Oh, that looks delicious"?
Now, am I aware an alien invasion is going on?
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
not really fully aware that they're capturing people.
Okay, we're not sure exactly what the end result
It's
is.
just mass chaos and people are scattering everywhere. What's the food item?
I mean, I hate to admit this. There's a handful of them, probably.
I think yours
there's
is a
not just
tomahawk steak.
Dude, if an alien was like, "Hey, you want this perfectly medium rare tomahawk steak sliced for you? It's all cut, ready to go, or you can just eat it off the bone." I'm probably walking out of my hiding spot for that.
Yeah.
That's also not the only one, and I'm ashamed to admit that. But you put you give me the smell of pizza in a room, and I'm like, you give me a little bacon sniff
little bacon
too, little
smell?
bacon
Yeah, a
sniff,
little bacon
like, ooh,
sniff might
ooh,
get me to
oh, what do we
poke
do?
my head out.
What are we doing over there? What do we got? Get a little bacon over there?
I like so many things. There's not one particular food that's like I'm a zombie for.
Right.
I can hold out for a while, but eventually something will smell so good. I'm like,
Oh, all right.
I do have
morning.
I have Swag under the stove, and then the bacon smell, and his nose pokes out.
just the tip of the nose. Crispy. That smells good right there.
You guys got all your shopping done? All your food
I,
ready to go?
I did hunt down everything I need yesterday. It took me a couple of stops. You wouldn't think turkey sausage was so damn hard to find.
Dude, turkey
Is
sausage.
everybody out of it because
Yes.
of the week we're in right now, or what's the deal?
No, turkey. So do you do the pre-cooked links, the patties, or what do you do with turkey
No.
sausage?
It's it goes in the stuffing. So it's the
the okay.
raw.
Yeah,
And
the
so and then I'll chop up apples and dried cranberries that go in with the turkey sausage that then goes into the stuffing.
Oh, you're the homemade stuffing guy.
Yes.
Look at you.
I'm a stovetop boy.
You go stovetop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's chicken broth and
It's a lot easier.
The mix.
It's a lot easier. I think
great.
it depends on how many things you're cooking too. Like if that's the only thing that you're making, then it's a
Yeah,
little bit easier to
so-
go
so
scratch
one
homemade.
stop-
Let's create
yeah.
this a little bit. But if you got 10 things on your
The
menu,
stuffing has been requested over the years, and so
you're known for your stuffing.
known for the stuffing. So
Swag's
that's
got good
going one
stuffing.
place, and then for the evening gathering, I was tasked with putting a charcuterie board together,
I love putting it together. I
which
hate
is way
buying
more
it.
expensive
It's
than
more expensive than
anything
everything.
else.
Dude, it adds up quickly because
Yeah.
that's one of the things that we have to do. We have to do a salad for our first Thanksgiving, which, easiest thing humanly possible. Nothing there. And then a charcuterie board for Thanksgiving number 2. And I was blown away at how many
Cheese,
things.
nuts, dried fruit,
it
and
adds
meat.
up so quickly.
You can rack up $100
Yes.
Easy.
without even
Yes.
thinking about it.
Why is
Easy.
cheese so expensive, man? Let's figure this out. What's happening?
Why are dried meats so expensive?
Right.
A
Well,
pack of salami.
It's a
is-
slice of salami. Why is this so-
Protein, any protein now, it's stupid.
But I heard prices were coming down.
Everything's coming down. Everything's
Everything's cheap
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we got to spend some time tonight cutting up everything for the. It's also a lot of work to put that thing together, and I don't care as much. The wife cares a lot more than I do. Where I'm just like, just put it on the plate. Everybody will eat it, but no, it's got to be.
No.
It's got to be planned out. It's got to be in the right order. Everything's got to be
You
next to
have
the other thing.
Decorating a charcuterie board. We talked about the housekeeping Olympics. There's got to be somewhere
Charcuterie board
a
Olympics.
charcuterie board competition, like the way you lay it out and design it and how you use the dried fruits and the nuts and everything.
My favorite
else
thing
to-
about it is similar to like when you order pizzas for an office party and you get like a handful of cheeses, a couple of meat lovers, and some
Yeah.
veggies. And then at the end
Nobody
of the pizza
touches the
party,
veggie.
there's 2 slices of veggie that are
Yeah.
gone. All the cheese and all the pepperoni
Oh,
is
yeah.
gone. That's usually the way that it works.
Yeah.
I love doing that with the charcuterie board as well. You take it, and there's always like 2 columns that go completely untouched. Nobody wants anything to do with them, and then the rest of it gets eaten.
Well, so I'm not like a big. I just don't find the value of putting any fruit on the charcuterie board. To your point, like
Neither do I.
it's about the crackers, the meat, and the cheese, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like charcuterie boards, if done well, they are the generic white people charcuterie board of cheddar cheese, thick summer sausage.
Yeah, it's got to have some
And a
thick
Ritz cracker.
Yes. Now we're talking.
That's my charcuterie
That's all
board.
that I need. I don't need any dry fruit on there.
What's this meat? Prosciutto. I don't need that. Why does this cheese smell like a weird foot?
That smells way too expensive
I
for
just,
my taste.
I don't
man.
need it. It's
No.
unnecessary and
Nope.
it's too expensive. So the fruits, and I'd even say the dried fruits and the nuts,
I'm out.
just unnecessary.
I'm out. We got them for our board, but I'm out. I'm
No,
not.
I get it.
I'm not touching those nuts.
I get it.
The nuts are not for me.
Now, salad, did you end up going, like, if it was me and they're like, Sprague, we need you to do a salad, I would, honest to God, go get 3 bags of the Caesar kit, and I would just put that in a bowl and call it good.
What is that? What you're doing?
Caesar salad's elite,
Yeah, that's exactly what.
and
we're
I'm not
doing.
wasting a lot of my
I'm
time.
not spending 2 hours tonight chopping
No.
up lettuce and carrots and
Anchovies.
tomatoes.
Get outta
No,
here.
I'm not doing any of
Get
that.
out of here.
My wife went to the grocery store last week. We said, hey, we need to do a salad for Thanksgiving. Hey, here's 2 bags of pre-made salad. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Pour it in a bowl. There you go. Show up on Thanksgiving.
So my mom's coming over Friday because she works tomorrow, and I told her, like, the original plan was to do like an Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, you were
Brunch.
gonna do brunch, and she
She kind of was
said-
like, "You're not doing turkey, huh? Not doing the
You're
stuff."
not going to make me a turkey?
I bought one of those young baby turkeys that they probably slaughtered way too
she
early.
guilted you into making a turkey on Friday.
I'm doing mac and cheese, turkey, stuffing,
Oh.
mashed potatoes.
So you got 2 meals going. You got 2 full days going here.
Well, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm going to my nephew's. It's his actual birthday on Thanksgiving. It's that weird rotation where
Sure.
it's landed on his birthday. So, like, my sister-in-law is making everything, and I originally was tasked with doing something. I called her yesterday. I go, "What are you making?" And she rattles it off, and I'm like, "That's like 15 items."
You don't need me to make anything here.
I am going to try something. I'm going to make a dessert. I keep seeing it on my algorithm, which tells you all you need to know about my fat ass algorithm. I'm going to try a Biscoff cheesecake.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
It looks amazing.
Okay. Are there any other desserts at the Thanksgiving meal?
Well, she's doing apple pie. My family hates apple pie.
So this is more of a, I know what my family wants to eat, and I'm going to bring a dessert for us.
Well, my youngest will eat apple pie more so than cheesecake, but it's more like just an apple pie. I think you need a variety at Thanksgiving. You need multiple dessert options.
Okay, that's
my
totally fair.
opinion.
Yes, you do.
That's fair.
Especially if it's a gathering of more than once you get to like 8 or 10, there better be multiple options.
That's kind of what we're sitting with. There's going to be about 15 of us.
Yeah.
As a non-pie person, there's not a lot of pies that I enjoy. I'm anti-pie. Thanksgiving dessert time is a little tough.
What do you do for Thanksgiving dessert? Like, what do you look
I have to
forward
be the awkward guy that's like, no, I'm okay. And they're like, please try a bite, try a slice. And I'm like, all right. And then you end up begrudgingly taking a slice that you don't really want. And then you have like 2 bites of it and you like slowly slip back into
So there's really
I'm just out on pie. I'm out on pie.
Is it the crust? I mean, the filling is.
I mean, you give me a chocolate mousse pie, I'm all about that.
Okay.
I'll eat that bad boy. But like in terms of a pumpkin pie's okay. It's passable. It's all right. I'm not jonesing for a slice of pumpkin pie.
If that's really because
Cake is the superior dessert. That's the problem here. Why can't we just? Why can't we do Thanksgiving cake? It's the superior dessert.
Pie is better.
No, it's not. Not even close. You give me frosting. You give me different flavors. I get frosting in the middle of the cake. Thanksgiving cake should become a thing.
I'll give you my favorite take is like I love pies. I love pies with fruits. I love pies like key limes. You know, it doesn't matter. Filling pies. My favorite is breakfast pie. I will take whatever pie we have left over in that fridge,
for breakfast,
and I'll just eat it. It ice cold, please. I love it.
Next morning, wake up, just spoonful feeding pie.
Cake
out
is
of the
not
fridge.
better than pie.
Cake is superior.
No, it
first
is
poll
not.
question of the day.
No,
what
it's
is the
not.
superior dessert, cake or pie? First poll question of the day is going up.
It's like, oh, what's your cake? Is it chocolate or vanilla? Like, there's no versatility with.
You could go carrot cake. There's a million different cakes that you can kind of
making
make. Get out of here.
cake.
There is no filled in delightful icing on top in the middle of your pie.
Can I tell you a dirty secret about me?
Yeah. How's dessert? Is dessert 1 S or 2? 2 S's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Desert is 1 S.
Desert's
Dessert.
Yeah.
Dessert.
So we were in your neck of the woods on the main drag.
Oh, yeah.
In the town in which you live.
Down in the hood.
And we went to a used bookstore.
Oh, yeah.
And right down the road from the used bookstore, I've eyed this place for maybe years at this point, and I've never stopped. There's a dessert place. Piece of fill in the blank.
Ah, yes.
So we went in there and we were like, let's be a little fat. Let's treat ourselves here.
Get ourselves a piece of cake.
Dude, I walked out and I had spent $60.
What?
Ouch.
Because these slices of desserts
Big
are
old thick slices? No, ooh.
Good slice, not big old thick slice.
I've never been in there before.
$60.
That's a lot
for
of money.
4 of us.
That's a lot of money for 4 slices.
And I was
of cake.
like, oh.
Okay, that added up quickly.
Well, I haven't been.
That's a lot of money.
It's one thing if you get it and we're talking like a jumbo slice and it's massive and
Not
it's
a
like
jumbo
almost
slice.
to the point where you're like, I don't even know if I could eat this all by myself.
Well,
That's the kind of slice
Is the
I need.
original Papa Haydn's still down there
It
in
is.
Selwood?
Yes, it is.
And,
Delightful dessert down there.
And and they go over the top. It's like a 10-layer cake. If you get a piece of cake,
but
it's
how
like
much is that slice?
Probably
Svendy. That's
in
a
that
Svendy place.
$15 to $18 range, depending on the type and
It's a
what's all
wonderful
involved.
restaurant.
I asked, how much is your whole cakes? Because the cake, I will say this, to be fair.
It's a good cake.
Delicious.
Okay.
All of the desserts were delicious. We
It
power
delivered.
ranked them and whatnot. But I said, how much is one of these cakes? Like, if a slice is this much, how much
Were
is
they
the whole
$100
cake?
cakes?
$110.
Whoa, ho, ho, ho.
And I didn't say this, but I'm like,
How tall is that cake?
a taller than a cake you'd make yourself.
Okay.
But like
We're
not
going
as-
4 inches tall?
Did it have like the thin layers? Like there's
It-
10,
3
12.
thin layers
Oh,
is how it just not thin, but
Okay.
like medium.
That's a spendy cake, man.
And I
Yeah.
said, man, that's
You
cake.
just go to Freddy's and buy one for
So
like
that's
$15.
I
interesting.
feel like
He's
I'm
like-
Steve Martin and Father
Yeah.
of the Bride.
What?
But he made a good point. He goes, yeah.
It's flour and eggs. and-
Right.
yeah.
He made a good point though. He was like, if you have a party of 12
Such a
people,
good movie, man.
if you have a party of 12 people and you cut it in slices, he goes, sometimes we get people that have huge parties and they'll buy one and you could see like the pre-cut slice indicators.
Yeah.
He goes, they'll cut that slice in half because some people won't want to fill themselves
You
on
just want a
dessert.
half a slice of cake.
And so everybody feels better about eating the cake. And then if you're like 20 people deep, now that price isn't as bad.
That's true. If you add up that many people, putting money in to go buy the cake, it's not terrible. That's a spendy cake. Spendy cake.
Point is, pie more superior than cake.
The poll question is up. Go vote. Don't make me look like an idiot, okay? Go vote. Go vote hard on this thing.
There's so many pie options.
I mean, the pie definitely has more versatility.
And
that
I think
I will not
get,
deny.
I think we get cheesecake on our end.
Ooh.
Cheesecake's fantastic. Never go wrong with cheesecake.
Is it cheese pie or is it cheesecake?
It's cheesecake.
Yeah, but it's in the pie family.
It's a cake.
It's a cousin of pie.
It's a brother of cake.
Cake is the stepdad. And unfortunately, it's gotten the name of the stepdad.
I'm not letting you get away with claiming cheesecake.
Is cheesecake
no chance.
more in the
In
pie
our cake pie draft, there's no chance I'm letting you get away with
Dude,
this.
cheesecake is the Tiger Woods
If
of our
anything,
draft.
it's a
You're
hybrid.
Asian,
If anything, it's a little bit of both, and you don't get to claim. Neither gets to claim it. That's
So
the
which
only
dessert is the Wu-Tang
You should put that up as a poll question. Is cheesecake more a cake or a pie?
Okay, that'll be the next one.
We got a lot to get to today. It's a busy show. Let's start with this. We had a domino fall, and we can have more dominoes fall. It seems like we will. It seems very likely. We'll start there. Dirt and Sprague, 105.1 The Fan. Well, first response to your poll question, cake is supreme, pies are for peasants. You won't see a pie worth $100 or more.
That was not me, I promise. I did not say that.
That's not your burner
account?
account?
That is not my burner account
Dame
on
Goat
social
Cheese
media.
isn't your burner
Dame
account?
Goat Cheese is not my burner account, I promise.
I tell you right now, Dame Goat Cheese, bad take, and I am a peasant. That's why I do love pies.
Look, we're early on in the results.
Pies are for poors.
I don't think these are going to age well for me. I think I'm going to get doubled up here. I have a bad feeling about both these poll questions right
Really?
now. I do. I'm not feeling very confident.
It's off to a good start for you.
I know it is. I just I'm worried. I'm worried long term how this thing's going to shake out.
You go to a holiday get together. How often, sans a birthday, a holiday, do you have people bringing in cakes versus there's pies?
See, we don't do a lot of. The only time I ever eat pie is usually Thanksgiving. That's about it.
You guys what do you do for Christmas? Cookies?
Yeah. Cookies or other kind of, snacky knickknacks that are sweets. My wife loves doing those. Yeah. Like a Christmas crack. She makes that every year. There's, different things that you can
What's
make.
A Christmas crack?
It's like you do like a certain cracker and then there's some frosting on it and then some other, I can't remember exactly what all goes into it. Some chocolate that's mixed in there somehow. And
really?
You kind of harden it. You put it in the fridge, then you eat it. It's delightful. I eat it in the bunches. So that's usually the go-to Christmas dessert for me. So not a lot of pies around my life, but I'm also not a pie guy, so I'm not bringing it anywhere.
I'll never forget, Swag. We had to come in, and I don't remember what it was for, but we had to do a random Saturday show or a weekend show, and it was when we had a Jams Fourth with us. And I brought donuts in, and Dirk goes, I don't eat dessert. And I absolutely judged him in that. I was like,
oh, you totally
what?
did.
You don't eat dessert?
Look at you. I'm not buying
You don't
that
like
at all.
donuts?
You not eating donuts? I don't think so.
That was cake donut, too, right?
That was, yeah. I'm a very limited number of donuts that I'm willing to get down on. But if you put the right one in front of me, I'll eat it.
Another response, cake is for birthdays, and that's it. Anybody who doesn't like pie is an uncouth savage.
There you go. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Shout out to all the fats out there. We're all with you.
Yes. Everybody's going to be fat tomorrow.
The domino has fallen in Stillwater. It was announced yesterday that Oklahoma State is searching for a coach no more. They have found their guy.
Yes, they have.
And he's just a little bit below them in North Texas. Eric Morris, a guy that, some Beef fans for a while kicking around, hey, can we go get that guy? Turns out Eric Morris is pretty good and he's a little above an Oregon State level job. He's going to be the Oklahoma State coach. So that was announced yesterday. He will finish out the season. And so there's one job. You could just scratch right off the list. The Mean Green are 10-1 this year.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, I don't know if you saw this or anybody saw this. An hour before it was announced that he was going to be the Oklahoma State coach, the University of North Texas, just on their main university account, tweeted, if you're having any mental health issues, please contact. And everyone, did they get ahead of the announcement that Eric Morris?
If you were a little worried right now, give us a call. Here's the hotline that you can reach out to.
But he's going to be the new Cowboy coach, Eric Morris.
I mean, look, with all these coaches, we should say the same thing over and over and over again. Nobody has any clue how this is going to work.
Give me a take.
That being said,
give me a take.
It seems like it's a great hire. He's an offensive mind. He's only 40 years old. He's rapidly risen up the ranks. He has spent time in that conference during his time in the Big 12 at Texas Tech. He was there from like 2013 to 2018.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to Incarnate Word. He finds Cam Ward. He goes to Washington State. He's there for a year.
He also found Mateer.
Helps recruit John Mateer. He goes to North Texas. He's been there for 2 years, and this year they have a legitimate shot at making the college football playoff. Third year, I should say. He was at North Texas his third season. But clearly heading in the right direction, clearly an offensive mind. And when you think, to me, this isn't always the way the team should hire, but for Oklahoma State it is. Like, what's your identity? What have you been known for the last 20 years? Up-tempo offense, throwing the football, pushing it downfield. Like a lot of those intangibles that you had under Gundy that you were trying to build your roster to be able to do, and I know that wasn't the way their season played out, is exactly what Eric Morris is going to try and do as a head coach. So can he recruit? Can he get them back to where they were? Who the hell knows? But in terms of the pool of candidates that were available, a guy who, as you mentioned, was going to be possibly up for other jobs. Now, the Oklahoma State job's better than the Oregon State job because you're in a Power 4 conference. But was Arkansas sniffing around this guy like were any other schools trying to hire Eric Morris? I don't know what it was like behind the scenes for him. Get the deal done, lock him down, and I think it's a good hire for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I was reading an article after Wilcox got fired, and it was on The Athletic, and it was basically, what is the Cal job? Like, I think that's the tough thing. So this is, to me, is Eric Morris going to pan out ultimately for Oklahoma State? I mean, nobody knows the answer to that. I'm going to lean that he actually will do a good job. because of his track record, his history, his ability to, identify and find talent. I think he's going to plug himself super into that Texas-Oklahoma high school pipeline and be obsessed with it in a way that maybe some coaches in that state or in those states.
He's a Texas guy, too. He's from Texas.
Exactly. He's made enough connection. When you can find a Cam Ward and a John Mateer, that tells me you have a really good eye and an ability to connect with people who are letting you know, hey, this guy's getting under-recruited.
By the way, not to mention his quarterback this year, who had never played a high school game before, is one of the best statistical quarterbacks in the country.
He started out, 6th on the depth chart?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're 11-1 or 10-1 or whatever it is.
10-1,
he's probably going to bring that kid with him, but
right.
Who knows?
And look, that's how this all works, right? It's transactional with coach and player both. What I find interesting is this is a good hire, I think, from just a personnel standpoint. I also think it's a smart move. You do not want to be the non-power available school in the race here. Because, like, if it's you and then it's LSU.
Yeah, those are the two jobs that haven't been filled yet.
Gulp. Well, but like Cal and Stanford are interesting. I have no idea. Can you tell me which job's better?
No.
Right.
No.
So I'm reading this, and my takeaway after reading the pieces, I don't think anybody knows if is Cal a good job.
Yeah.
They have Ron Rivera being the GM. Is that good?
There's a lot of hurdles administratively that you got to jump through. You're traveling across the country to play your games. You're recruiting an East Coast platform, but you're playing on the West Coast.
You're not an Ivy League, but you have some
and your home games. How many of their home
limits?
games started at 7 o'clock or later?
Because that's the ESPN TV deal. They need the late TV window because it doesn't exist anymore. So Cal and Stanford play a lot. Where is Stanford playing this weekend?
Yeah.
They get Notre Dame in town. Final game of the season. It's a 7:30 p.m. kick on Saturday night.
And sometimes that's a benefit for you because you're making those long-distance teams travel to you, right? Like Florida State going to – and they lose to Stanford, going to Stanford and losing to Stanford. Like, that can work in your benefit somehow, or sometimes. But this is kind of my point is this is a good move because you've gotten a candidate that people like. He's really well respected around the sport. And you've also taken yourself out of like – hey, man, we don't have to be involved in fighting for other candidates the way some of these other schools. Arkansas is a good one. We saw Colorado State hire Jim Mora Jr. yesterday.
Yeah, how about that?
Pac-12 Jim Mora.
He's back, baby.
He is back. And so now you're just Stanford and Cal's and Arkansas's and LSU's and Florida's. Like, they're all still searching for this situation. And that's not even mentioning, well, we have other openings. Is Lane going to leave? And now here comes Ole Miss as a job. I think it's better to identify who you like, run with it, and get it done for the recruiting purposes. Also, you don't want to be involved in are we better than a Stanford type job?
Yeah, it's funny because to your point, it almost turns into a game of musical chairs that you don't want to be the last guy without a chair. It's just standing there like, uh-oh, everybody else has already been hired. Where the hell are we going to go now? I think there's a massive benefit. And I know this one's a little bit different. Like Virginia Tech hired Franklin, and he's not coaching currently. So he gets to go to Virginia Tech and have a big recruiting weekend last weekend.
Right.
And that's kind of a unique example that you don't often get. So Morris is going to continue to coach. Who knows? Maybe they end up in the college football playoff. They might end up being the team that wins the conference. They could be playing in Eugene in a couple of weeks for all we know, which would be kind of funny. But I think there's a massive benefit for getting it done now, giving him a little runway because he's going to still focus on his team, but then you put the other hat on and you start calling recruits, and then the transfer portal is going to open up in January. So the earlier that you can get that done, the better, and I think it's a good hire for Oklahoma State.
So one domino falls in college football, a couple of them actually, because I mentioned Jim Mora Jr. there was hired by Colorado State, but the bigger job is Oklahoma State, and they've opted to go Eric Morris of North Texas. We'll get into a dirty poll. We got to get to the dirty poll today at the top of the hour. We'll dive into the NFL slate, which will start tomorrow. We're pretty excited about the football that's going to be on television in the National Football League. We'll get to the college football playoff ranking stuff. We may have had a hero emerge in college football yesterday.
We got a hero.
And a lot of people need to not make fun of this guy. They need to thank this person. He did the thing that nobody wanted to do. He took the bullet, and we all need to say, I hope it worked. I hope it worked.
Fall on that sword, man.
We're back.
Send this to all the youngs possible.
We're back with more 105.1 The Fan.
This is a Rivalry Week edition of Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Red Tail Golf Center's holiday sale going on now, up to 50% off all your holiday golfing needs. Red Tail Golf Center, where they guarantee the lowest holiday prices. Visit them at golfredtail.com. First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks took one step closer to securing their spot in the college football playoff, moving up to 6th in the latest rankings released Tuesday. Ducks leapfrogged Ole Miss and are projected to host the ACC champion in a first-round playoff game. Things not going as well for the Oregon's men's basketball team. They fell to 0-2 at the Players Era Festival going on in Vegas, allowing the Aztecs of San Diego State to shoot 67% from the field. They lose 97-80. They'll close out the tournament Thanksgiving morning against Creighton. Pre-game on the Fan will be 10:30 a.m. tip at 11. The Trailblazers, that is, can secure their spot in the NBA's Cup knockout round with a win over the Spurs tonight. They are at Moda Center. Tip set for 7 o'clock on KUNP. That's Xfinity Channel 1016. Wemby not there. Blazers are a 1.5-point favorite. And after clearing waivers, former Oregon State wide receiver Brandon Cooks agreeing to a contract to join the Buffalo Bills for the remainder of the season. The Bills are in Pittsburgh this Sunday. They'll take on the Steelers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Sports Network.
We'll get into some college football at the top of the hour. We'll dive into some NFL a little bit coming up next. We'll kind of do NFL throughout the whole show, and we may have some big local news today during the show.
Oh, what are you saying?
I just tell you.
What are you hearing?
People
Boots
are
on the
talking.
ground.
People are talking.
Who could it be? Who could it be?
We going to Casa Diablo? Potato salad's vegan. Actually, it's not. It's got eggs in it.
I mean, you mentioned
and
the Jim Mora one in the last segment. It's funny how we do this with like pro sports teams when you draft and who you take and who was available to take, and then you look back and you're like, God, it would have been really nice to have that guy.
I bet Jim Mora turns Colorado State into a good
That's
program.
what I was going to say. Like, that's another job. Like, Colorado State's not a better job than Oregon State.
No.
That's not. If Eric Morris is getting the Oklahoma State offer, he's not coming to a non-power
You gotta
4 team.
take a
like,
Power 4
He's
conference
taking that job,
I
so
agree.
that's irrelevant. But the Jim Mora one will be one that I think we'll go back and circle because I don't know how to feel about him. He's had a great year at UConn.
Dude, he's done pretty good at UConn.
I know. And he wasn't terrible. Like,
I didn't think he was that bad at UCLA either.
He's a bit of their Bo Pelini.
Yes.
Like, you thought you could do better than that, didn't you? Now things have gone
100%.
sideways for you, and you wish you could have it back. So that's just one we'll circle probably 4 years down the road. If Colorado State's playing good and they're better than you in that conference, way to go, administrator.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a few schools that if Jim Mora does well at Colorado State, people are going to go, why didn't we consider him more? Like, I've already seen it from UCLA fan a couple weeks ago. They were
saw
posting,
that.
why did we fire that guy?
They wanted to bring him back.
I know.
That was the talk down there.
By the way, another job we didn't even mention. Where do they go? Is that,
They are so irrelevant now.
We keep saying this, and it's fair if people call us out on it, because I was thinking about this during the break. Like, we keep saying, well, this job's a better job than that job. Like, is UCLA a better job than a good group of 6 school? You can say money, but that AD sucks.
The AD sucks.
The boosters are reactionary idiots.
We didn't even talk about it on the show. They're moving from the Rose Bowl to SoFi. So
They're going
all
to
the
SoFi.
history and the tradition that you had, you're paying $80 million to break that lease to go to SoFi. I wouldn't want anything to do with that job.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but it's in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
So you would say, well,
Not
that's a
all
better
those
job.
Right.
And I don't think all of them are the same.
You have to have everything aligned administratively, and I don't think there's any indicator that UCLA has that. And good luck hiring a head coach.
Well, on a show with 2 white guys, I'd like to sort something out here.
Oh, okay.
I would like to ask you if you agree with Kendrick Perkins.
I don't often agree with Kendrick Perkins.
That's a friend of the program, Kendrick Perkins.
Yes.
Remember, he used to be an Odyssey insider when he started his media life, and we had him on like 3 times.
We did.
Like, what are you joining us right now? I'm in my dining room. Like, oh, okay,
right.
Kendrick Perkins.
What's up, Kendrick?
He has since taken off. He's no longer an Odyssey insider. He no longer hops on our show. Instead, he hops on ESPN. He gives basketball takes people don't agree with, or he hops on podcasts, and he gives takes like this.
Shedeur Sanders is the most powerful black man since 2009. You know what happened in 2009?
Right.
That's when President Obama got elected in office. He's the most powerful black man since 2009.
Now, he had a 3-minute follow-up to that, and I cut it, but I'll tell you right now, he then proceeds to tell you why, and then he ends it with, you know what? Scratch that. He's the most powerful black man in America, in sports. And I'm like, and the reason, if you're wondering.
Yeah, what's the reason?
One of the big reasons is.
That's the reason.
Did you run your TV to watch Shedeur play the Raiders?
No.
Well, you're not black.
Okay, my apologies. Okay.
He's talking to black people.
That game sucked. It was a horrible football game.
I just.
I don't know what it is about guys. Tebow was this same way. He was this for the whites. This was Tebow for the whites.
Tebow was this for the whites.
He was a little bit, yeah.
Tebow's the most powerful white.
I mean, I guarantee you could go back and find a take like that. He's the most powerful white man since Jesus because he's got John 3:16 painted on his eye black, and everybody's Googling John 3:16. And I guarantee you that take existed 20 years ago.
He's the most powerful since 2000. Now, what happened in 2000? George Bush.
That's right.
Like, oh,
okay.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about guys like this that just leads to the goofiest takes humanly possible. And I think it's just a cutting through the algorithm thing.
He's not even the most powerful black man on his team.
No, he's not. Myles Garrett is a more powerful black man on his own team. He's maybe the best defensive lineman One of the best defensive linemen we've ever seen in the history of the NFL. I just like what are we doing here?
I don't know what that's
How do
for.
you go from like, hey, I'm rooting for him to succeed. Look at that. He won his first start. The first Browns quarterback to win his starting debut since God knows when. It was
95.
1995.
Yeah.
Been
The
forever.
great Eric Zier.
There you go.
Exactly. Everybody remembers Eric Zier. Like, that's cool. He had a nice where he's rolling out, throws it 50 yards. He had a good debut. Why can't it just be as simple as that? Instead, we have to take it to the point that he's the most powerful black man in America right now.
If he's right on that, wouldn't he have evidence to say, like, the ratings for the window of the Raider-Brown game are...
I would argue his dad has been a more powerful black man recently because he had 15 million people watching Colorado State.
I don't think you need to make an argument for it. I think we know this is a ridiculous take.
People watched a 7:30 Colorado Stanford game to the tune of like 13 million 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the power of Deion Sanders at Colorado. Now it has all disappeared because he can't coach and he can't recruit and things have gone sideways. But that's more powerful than this.
I just
what if he throws 3 picks this weekend and loses? Is he now no longer the most powerful?
I usually see, like, when I check Reddits and I read about, like, they'll put media member names and it'll be a post, and I'll click it to see comments and it'll be like, yeah, I don't like him. He doesn't give any takes. There's always the reaction is like they don't give takes.
You gotta have a take.
That person's not that good. He doesn't give any good takes.
This is a good take.
And I laugh at that because I find it an idiotic thing to say. And then the follow-up is like, so, like, this is what people want. They just want you to say things like that.
Because it'll lead to this.
Now, who's the most powerful white in sports?
Oh, our most powerful
If we're going
white.
by, you need to watch them. They make people, like, feel a certain way.
Yeah. I also love just Patrick Mahomes exists. He won a lot of Super Bowls the last handful of years.
Oh, Mahomes.
Last time I checked, either team could claim him. He could go either way.
Yeah,
in the
Chappelle
draft,
taught us,
he
yeah.
could go. Who has the first pick is where Patrick Mahomes goes. But to the point on the most powerful black man, I think
Is it Josh Allen?
Oh.
Is Luca in this?
Yeah, can we claim
Luka-
European
Luka
whites?
was the name.
Are
Actually,
they claimable?
Travis Kelce might be.
Oh, good
you're
one.
right. Yeah, his royalty.
The blending of different worlds.
Yes.
The music, entertainment
Mr.
world
Swift.
with the sports world.
That's a good one by you, Swag.
Good
That's a
pull.
good one.
Good
That's
pull.
a pretty good one. Kendrick Perkins, Shador Sanders, the most powerful black man in sports. Most powerful since 2009 in general.
Since 2009, nobody else has done anything bigger than what Shador Sanders is doing right now.
Beat the Raiders.
He did. That Raider team, though, man. Look
Wasn't
out.
that game available to like 2% of the country that day?
I don't know. I don't know what
Because
the
it was
TV
a
window
regional
was.
game, and that was like.
Why would any? But yes, nobody wanted to watch that game.
That's
That
a game you
was
see
terrible.
highlights for.
Yes.
And you check a box score and you move on. Nobody wanted to watch Browns Raiders.
Nah.
I
I'm
need
good. I'm out on that.
Berman going, what? That's that game.
Yeah, that is that game. You're right. That is that game. We'll get into some NFL coming up next. Dirt and Sprague 105.1. The Fan.
because J.J. McCarthy might be the worst quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Right.
He threw for 139 yards and completed 14 passes. That's 3 straight games for Jordan Love, sub 200 passing yards. So he's good. We all know he's good. I think he's one of those in the category of how good is he? Where do you actually put him? And do you trust him if something's on the line?
Is he top 8? If I gave you a choice of 8 quarterbacks in the NFL, would he be in your top 8?
God, he's.
I know we do that too much. It's cliche.
Borderline as humanly possible right now.
Because I put him in the Dak Baker.
Yeah.
Like, he's capable of looking amazing. I don't know who you trust of the 3. But at any given weekend, he could be a top 5 looking quarterback, and he could also just be like back end out of top 10 quarterback.
I'll be fair to him. I'll give him back end of the top 8 as I'm just scrolling through some names right now. I can't do it with the guys who have done it for 1 year. Like Drake May's had a great year. I need more than 1 year to say you're a top 6 quarterback in the league. And to be fair, this is what I did to Jordan Love after his 1 good year, and everybody said this guy's a bona fide top 5 guy.
Daniels got a lot of this.
Jaden Daniels got a lot of this last year. C.J. Stroud was this after his rookie year. And then so if Drake May comes out and does next year what he's doing this year, by all means, dude, anoint him a top 6 or 7 quarterback in the league, and I'm totally fine with that. But I think it's fair to say he's back into the top 8. I know they've been banged up at wide receiver, and that is not helping him a ton. At times they've struggled to run the football. That also has not helped. But I do believe that they have an elite defense, and I think that the Denver comp is a good one, that they're going to be in a lot of games, and it might come down to him having to make a throw or two. Maybe that's the case for them tomorrow, but really excited to see how that one plays out.
We'll have more on the NFL. We have a loaded second hour. The Dirty Poll is going to kick off the second hour. We got a trend that might have been stopped in college football yesterday, and we might have a local bit of breaking news in the second hour or third hour of the show. So we'll get to a lot in hour number 2, Dirt and Sprague, 105.1, The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks win over USC, impressing the College Football Rankings Committee enough to move them up to 6th ahead of Ole Miss. They're projected to host the ACC champion in a first-round playoff game if the bracket was put into place today. Things not going so well for Dana Altman's basketball team. The Ducks fall to 0-2 at the Players Era Festival in Vegas. San Diego State shot 67% from the field and hung a 97-80 loss on Oregon, who will close out the tournament now Thanksgiving morning against Creighton. You'll hear that on the Fan. Pre-game coverage starts at 10:30 a.m., tip at 11. Trailblazers looking to secure a spot in the NBA Cup knockout round. If they beat the Spurs tonight, they will do just that. 7 o'clock tip at Moda Center. No Wembanyama for the Spurs. You can see this one on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. The Trailblazers 1.5-point favorites. Former Oregon State wide receiver Brandon Cooks has a new team to finish out the NFL season with. He cleared waivers, getting released by the Saints. The Buffalo Bills signed him to the active roster on Tuesday. Buffalo's in Pittsburgh this Sunday, taking on the Steelers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with the app.
Hey, welcome back in. Dirt and Sprague here, 105.1 The Fan Sports Network, which is 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, YouTube. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, Turkey Eve.
Hello, everybody. Used to be a big day in the Dirt household.
Dude,
this used to be the day, man. The day of all days. This was my Christmas back in the day.
I actually miss this version of
bit of the
you,
show.
of all the versions of you I've lived through. This is the one I miss the most. You telling me 9 times on this show.
This is the day.
This is the greatest drinking day of the year.
It
and
is
this
the best
how
drinking
drunk
day.
I'm going to be, and I won't be up until 2 a.m. And
It's great.
I'm going to wake up and play drunk, hungover football with my bros and act like I'm still in the PIL.
Go eat some food right afterwards. Greasy Thanksgiving food.
Yeah.
It's the absolute best, man.
Did you see your Cleveland Warriors will be allowed to drop down to 5A next year?
Good for
Hell
them.
Yes,
Good
we should
for
be
them.
in 3A for heaven's sakes. Keep lowering them down, man. Let them win. Lower the expectations. Give me a pathway, okay?
I think Banks might take you, though.
Oh, Banks would whoop our ass. The boys group chat is already going off today. None of us do it anymore, but it's already, thinking back on fond memories that happened. One time we were at a friend's house pre-gaming before going to the bar. I got into my friend's truck, my buddy Cash. I was stepping up into his truck, and I legitimately ripped my jeans, like from the crotch all the way down below the knee.
How tight were your jeans?
This is back in the day. Yeah, I'm trying to impress the ladies, right? I'm going to the bar. I got to show off the butt a little bit. He's probably wearing a pair of cowboy boots, and I split my jeans from the crotch down to the knee. And it was at that point I'm like, and it was like, yeah, we're just gonna do it. I spent the next 4 hours at the bar, and my pants were basically off.
Your crotchless pants.
Just crotchless pants hanging out of the bar. Great memories, man.
Was it noticeable?
Yes.
If you didn't spread your legs.
Yes, very noticeable.
Dirt was open for business.
I was
that
open.
night.
There was airflow going, and nobody kicked me out. I just, it was great. Turned into a great talking point to, start striking up conversations.
Okay, I have a couple follow-ups here.
Yeah, I miss this day, man. I miss it. Old Dirt, R.I.P.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's pretend we're not on the radio.
Sure, this is a trust treat.
I'm assuming you've told your wife most of everything, so there's not really any secrets. Does she really know or understand what this day was?
She showed
for
up
you?
to a couple of them. At the tail end of my glory days, when this was still a thing.
Yeah.
This was like a big, hey, you got to come out. This is a
You got to
night
hang with the boys.
This is a night you got to attend at one point. And she
okay.
made her way out to a bar
Okay.
early on in our dating days. So
All right.
she's experienced it full hand
Okay.
of what all goes into this evening.
Second follow-up. Why does your friend have a truck that you need to take a giant step to get into? Is this Little Ween energy?
Or
is
energy,
this...
yeah. I mean, Cash. He's got a, come on. A little too. What are we compensating for here, okay? Why is this lifted so high? Why is your good Toyota Tacoma 80 inches off the ground? No, I'm the one to blame because I got tiny legs. So no matter what truck I step into, it's like a lifted truck.
I was not
Technically, it's my fault.
I'm going to throw his name back out there. You did that, so thank you for that. And also, I was going to make a joke about you having little legs.
I got tiny legs. That's the reason I ripped my jeans, man. So for all the youngs out there, enjoy it tonight. Just know an older or younger version of me is right there with you in spirit.
And why are you, again, so your idea of going out and attracting the opposite sex or whatever sex you're into is I need to wear jeans that hug my butt so tight.
Cowboy butts drive the ladies nuts, baby.
That is a bumper sticker.
That's right. I got a nice tush. I got a nice juicy tush over here.
So for you,
Sprague.
it's more the backside than the front side.
No, I don't know why the jeans
some guys
were so
want
tight.
to.
If we're being honest, the reason the jeans were so tight is probably because I was getting fatter. Not that I bought them tight. It's probably because I was gaining weight, and
Like
that's why
sucking
they
it
were
into button?
so tight that I ripped them. If we're being honest, in the trust tree year, it was not a purposeful purchase of tight, skinny jeans. I don't wear those.
Well, because I know.
But I'm not buying a new pair every year and a half as I gain another 5 pounds.
Well, I know, like for you, it might have been your backside. I know that Swag is wearing his current pants, not for his backside.
You got bulge pants on today? I haven't
He's
seen
got
him.
bulge pants.
You're wearing your bulge pants?
Yeah, he tries to act like he doesn't, but he's wearing a.
Joggers, they're comfy.
They're nut huggers.
That's
They're not joggers.
they are nut
They're
These
huggers.
are not
huggers.
You are wearing a
the
pair
most
of nut
egregious
huggers.
ones you speak of.
No, but they're still offensive. You know what I mean? It's like
They're-
light racism at your family get together. It's
It's
not
just a hair.
full-fledged,
Yeah.
all-in hatred. It's the light joke and reference, and you're like,
Dude, did he just
I
say
shouldn't
that?
laugh about that?
That's exactly what it is.
And you just gloss over it because you
Move
don't know
on.
what to do about your uncle who's been in your life the entire time.
Everybody's very confused and very quiet and awkward.
Those pants are
These
offensive.
are very soft, very comfortable.
Yeah, I know.
For your
I
nuts.
see them for your nuts.
And not for us.
I know what they are.
Think about other people, man.
On the jean front, did you wear proper cowboy jeans where you didn't have a zipper, you had 9 buttons?
I did not ever buy a pair of button jeans.
The Levi
no.
501s
I
button
did not
fly.
have a button fly pair of
Dude,
jeans. No.
I
I was always a fly guy.
There was nothing worse, though, when you were wearing button flies and you were getting after it on an evening and you were trying.
getting after it.
Drinking?
Oh, I thought you meant like,
No.
Sure.
that's why you wear the joggers on those moments, isn't it, Swire?
Yes.
You break that seal and you got to go take a leak and you got
And you're
9 buttons you
fumbling
got to
with
get
the,
through.
with the button fly. Your bladder's about to burst.
It's the worst feeling ever.
I had weird moments as a kid where like jean material, my skin is,
Denim.
I'm very sensitive.
Denim.
So I had like a 2-year run where denim, I did not want it on my skin.
It can be a little scratchy.
So I'd wear like sport pants or sweatpants or corduroy.
right.
My mom bought me jeans, and this is, I think, what ruined it. She bought me those jeans once, and I remember being so upset putting them on because there was 7 buttons, and they were not like easy. They were push-ins, and you had to grab the material. And I remember having to take a leak during school, and I was over there just like
Fumbling with it.
Well, see, yeah, when I was in high that was the heyday of Levi's
You gotta
501.
have a pair of those.
You had to have a Levi 501 pair, at least one. Maybe
Did you
2.
roll up the bottom?
I did not roll up the
Ah,
bottom.
okay. You got to roll up the
Was
bottom.
that the trend for people in the 80s? Rolled up bottom jeans?
There was some.
I
It
was
was
thinking
very
70s.
preppy. You rolled them up with
not
the penny
that old.
loafers. Yeah,
Okay.
but that was not. No, I don't remember doing that.
Okay.
I
hated
might
those
have,
jeans.
but I don't remember consciously doing that.
I mean, I'm pretty anti-jean to begin with. Jeans are just kind of uncomfortable.
I don't really wear jeans
them.
as much anymore.
No.
I have one pair of jeans and they're black. And they
Black
don't
jeans, huh?
Yeah, and they don't feel like normal denim. They feel like a different kind of material.
Black jean would throw me off a little bit.
They got maybe a little spandex or something in there, a little stretchy.
No, not quite that.
No?
But I've worn them before. You've seen them. You just don't know they're jeans.
You don't connect it mentally that those are a pair of jeans.
They don't look like standard cut black jeans.
We have made a lot of progress in pant technology.
I agree with that.
And we've also got a little more, I would say, lax as a society dress-wise since COVID. I think we all kind of woke up and realized this is a little dumb and we don't need to wear certain things.
It's the best thing about society post-COVID.
It's the one few wins that we got.
Yeah, like when I go over here and I see like Tubbs Ludwig is going to wear a collared shirt every day until the day he dies.
Untucked. Got a little bit of chest hair flying out.
And he's got that one in between his belly and his top-end chest. He's got this gap in his button shirts.
Yeah, when he sits down, especially, it kind of poofs up a little bit. You know, like when your old jeans would pitch a tent when you would sit down.
Yes.
And make it look like something. When he sits down, there's that little gap, and you could see some tummy in there.
Like Tubbs Ludwig is going to go that way his entire life, whereas like Dave Kinsella wears hoodies now.
Yes, he does.
And like you get the sales staff will be more laxed on what they're wearing day to day.
Joe Fisher wears capri pants in half the time.
Talk about somebody that really wants to show off the butt. I confronted him on this the other day. I said, your pants are either getting tighter or smaller, and I can't. And he goes, I'm getting fatter, is what he said.
That's what happens. That's exactly what happens.
And I go, you got a nice caboose, though. And he goes, I know. That's why I wear these still. It's like, good for you, man. Good for you.
Dirt was wearing the cowboy boots to make him look taller. That's exactly what I was doing.
You were heightening.
You have to heighten. I might actually buy a pair of heightening shoes. I've contemplated it.
Why?
There's a pair of
you're married.
There's a pair of Nikes.
What are you getting
that I've discovered that you can mesh two. They've like meshed two shoes together.
It's two soles.
Two soles together. We saw these in Eugene, and there was a guy that walked. We were doing the pregame show for the Minnesota game, and this guy walks in front of Dusty and I, and I'm like, "What's going on there?" Because they're Nikes, so you don't look at them like they're platform shoes. They have a Nike swoosh. That's weird. And he explains, he's got a buddy who works at Nike, and he explains the shoe behind it, and he sends me the link to them. They legitimately look like they add north of 2 inches.
So, like, what are you doing this for? You're married.
For my own vanity. No reason in particular.
Hey, you know what? That's honesty.
If I walk in here one time and I'm eye to eye with somebody, that'd make me feel pretty good. Hey, how's the weather up there?
It'd be really funny if you didn't mention it and you walked out and you're
That's
taller
what I'm
than
gonna
Meringue.
do. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Because Meringue will notice.
I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to all of a sudden kind of, you got to go a little chest out, too, when you say it. Maybe I'll do it on Monday when he finally paints his face after welching on his bet for a week, and I'll walk up to him kind of chest out like, hey, what's going on down there? Huh? Just give him one of those.
What's going on?
Kind of give him the little big guy routine, little big guy peacock routine. See how he reacts.
Before I met him, I had invited him into guest host because you were out. He told me on the internet that he was 6'1".
No chance.
And then he showed up, and I was like, I am not 6'3".
No, you did not all of a sudden gain 3
I'm
inches.
not that tall.
No.
I'm 6'1" in shoes sometimes, and I'm mostly 6
Not a
foot
good thing
and
to
a half
lie
inch.
about because it's very easily disprovable.
It was instantly like,
Yeah.
we're
No, you're
not
not.
eye level in any way.
No, I am 72 inches.
Yeah.
Exactly 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Not 6'1".
no.
All right. Well, we didn't get into any of what we're supposed to get into there.
Look, I'll just give you the dirty poll didn't really change. Okay, it's kind of been. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little disappointed in college football.
Well, I
this
want to
year.
say. I want to say.
You want to do the whole dirty poll segment? Do we have enough time for a full dirty poll segment?
Well, not right now. On the other side.
Okay, you want to do it next?
We're not done now.
Are you
the
sure?
show
I thought
goes
the
on
show was
after.
over. I don't get to go home now.
Well,
What?
if you were offered, would you? Be kind of cool.
I mean, probably.
7:15, go home.
You told me I could go home right now. I'd probably
Blow
go
my
home
mind,
right now.
man.
Yeah.
Nobody else is on the road.
Yeah, go have a fun full day. Lead into a 5-day
I had
weekend.
more traffic coming in from 26 than I expected.
Did
I
you
had
today?
nobody
Yeah.
on 205 or I went 84 today. Nobody.
Oh, no, they were in little mini waves, so there's like a pack of 7 or 8 cars that
Yeah,
were
they're getting out of town.
kind of. No, they were coming into Portland.
Into this hellhole.
Yeah.
What were they
Like going
thinking?
into, you saw them exit into Portland, or are they going 405 to 84?
Were they
or
firefighters?
That I
to put the
don't know.
fires
I
out
mean-
for a
Right.
city burning down.
But I mean, it was not on the other side westbound going to the coast. It was coming in. Now where they were splitting off to, I have no idea. But there was far more traffic than I expected this morning.
Yeah, I had the opposite. I was just like, clear on. There you go. Nobody in your way.
Have a nice long weekend, everybody.
We'll get to the dirty poll. We might have some local news that we get to talk about on the program. I think something could be announced today. Oregon State might be going Casa Diablo.
What?
Possibly.
What?
Or, as one listener points out, pie wins over cake because you know what you get to add to it. shepherd's pie.
I see what you did there.
It ain't shepherd's cake.
Shepherd you into the future.
We'll read a couple thoughts on the poll question, what is better, cake or pie? We've gotten some follow-up on social media on that. We are off in the second hour. The Dirty Poll is next on 105.1 The Fan.
Network.
Well, much like pie on Thanksgiving, I'll never give that up. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream the local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, just $30 for the first year. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL. Let's get to a couple poll question results so far, and then we'll get to the dirty poll. By the way, it's like a rivalry. It's rivalry week. You on a fan?
Rivalry week.
And how much Oregon-Washington conversation we can have today? I feel like we kind of have the same takeaway or feel of the game, but maybe we shouldn't.
I mean, yeah, I feel like we shouldn't. Nothing's guaranteed.
No, it's not.
Do this. It's a big game on the road.
I know.
Coming off a big win.
Hostile environment.
You're shorthanded potentially. We don't know who's going to play. There's a lot that goes into it. It's also weird that it's a Wednesday. Like if we did shows all the rest of the week, I think there'd be a lot more conversation on Friday, the day before the game.
So we put a poll question up this morning. What is better, cake or pie?
Yeah.
Because Dirt is anti-pie guy, and tomorrow's a pretty big pie day.
It is. Very big pie day.
We got pie, hands down, sweet potato, pecan, cherry, apple, rhubarb, strawberry, all are good. Cake is for birthdays. We already talked about that one. Another one, pies can be sweet and savory. Shepherd's pie or beef pot pie also fall into this. That's a sneaky good point.
My stepdad was a big fan of mincemeat pie, which isn't
going like chicken pot pies now. I just,
Pot what?
I know.
Pot cakes.
If you're gonna do that, then you're giving me the cheesecake. You have to give. If that's gonna be your point of contention, then the cheesecake is mine. I've won that argument.
I still think people
erase the poll question. It's irrelevant. It's a moot point. The cheesecake is now in my family.
Somebody else says cake. What are you, 12? Somebody says it's pie, and it's not even close. Had pie instead of cake for my wedding because, while fine, cake doesn't hold a candle to an average pie, let alone a really good one. And that, Aaron, is a good one. Because I also, if I had a big wedding, which I didn't, if I had one, I would be angling for pie.
We were going to do cupcakes for our wedding before COVID canceled.
I'm not mad at that either.
Cupcakes are easy. Nobody really wants that much dessert. If you do, you can go get another cupcake if you want.
Did that
it's
for
easy,
the second
handheld,
wedding.
Simple to go to.
Got gourmet. We found a bakery gourmet, and they had they had filling in it. And, it was great.
We did cupcake tasting for a while.
We had 3 or 4 different flavors.
Yeah.
So that's
raspberry one. You get kind of an almond one. You get a chocolate one, a vanilla one, a confetti one.
You're crossing a lot.
Yeah.
All
those are cakes too, by the way. You know that, right?
What?
Cupcakes. Those are all.
Yeah,
it's in the cake family. It's also that's my stepbrother right there. He's really good.
I'm a fat Andrew. I like cake. It's not better than pie. So yeah, I get excited about cupcakes. Sue me.
Yeah, pizza pie too. Good point.
Pizza pie.
Pizza pie. That's a good point.
Another listener, pie has the higher ceiling, but also a lower floor. I disagree with that.
Ooh.
Cake is the safe choice, but will never rise to the elite levels. Pie can be elite and also offensively bad. I disagree with you, Dylan. Cake, when done wrong, is dry and disgusting.
Yes.
Have you had bad cake?
Yes.
I've had bad mediocre pie, and it's not, I get it, but
I haven't had a lot of bad cake in my life.
Non-moist cake?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. If you give me a cake that I have to do this with it,
spit on that thing.
For me to enjoy it,
spitting on your
I
cake.
need moist. Needs to be more moist.
A little lubricant on that thing?
You got to do something, man. So there's the returns so far. Pie superior, way more variations. Yeah. Chicken pot pie.
I know I'm going to lose this.
Shepherd's pie, cottage. What the hell is cottage pie?
Never heard of
it.
Is
cottage cheese?
That would be gross.
Hand pies.
All of a sudden, maybe I've won the argument again now.
Somebody tell Bob hand pies mean something different from Park Rose. You know what I mean?
I'm just glad nobody else included something else that goes with pie there. So thank you for that so far.
Start with a P?
No.
Poutine pie?
No comment.
Oh.
Okay.
You don't know what we're talking about, Swag? You're wearing pants like you do. Let's get to the dirty poll. We do it every Wednesday. Usually it's 7, but we got kind of sidetracked there by jeans and ripped jeans and cowboy
It'll happen
boots
from time to time.
Little dirt legs.
Little tiny dirt legs.
All right, so you were saying something at the end of the last segment. You're upset with college football, and I think it's for the reason that I've been noting every week when the college football playoff rankings have come out.
There's just, we do this segment. I enjoy doing this segment. I enjoy cooking up my top 12 and now playoff bracket of how it would look. There just nothing's changed in a long time. That's my beef.
So why don't you just say same, and we can get to some other stuff.
Well, that's why in the last segment I was like, do you want me to just do it now? So, there's really, Georgia Tech I still had in the top 12 as the highest ranked ACC team. That's now gone. They lost to Pitt, so they're done. See you later. They're not making the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Miami Miami is now back into the top 12, so that's the difference. I did bump them ahead of BYU. I'm kind of out on BYU. It's a little offensive to them, probably unfair to them. I'm really hoping that they don't make the college football playoff because I don't think it would be a very good matchup.
Give them the New Year's Day non-playoff game.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Some shine, some love.
Totally fine with that.
Let them have maybe a 2-loss season and call Kalani a great coach.
Yeah.
I don't want them in the playoff.
I'm just kind of out on that. I mean, the top 4 have been unchanged. Ohio State, Indiana, A&M has been the top 3 for 2.5 months now since whenever Indiana beat Oregon.
Yep.
Georgia's number 4. They got the win, obviously, over Ole Miss and only a 1-loss team in the SEC. The Dirty Poll was ahead of everybody else. I have Oregon at 5 currently. So that's where Oregon is at. Ole Miss is at 6. Texas Tech is at 7. Oklahoma 8. Alabama 9. Notre Dame 10. Miami 11. BYU 12. Right now, the group of 6 representative would be Tulane still. That's kind of where we're going to hold firm until proven otherwise. I think they will end up being that team out of the American Conference, although that is still up in the air going into the final weekend. But maybe we get it this weekend, right? Like maybe Alabama loses, maybe Oregon loses, Oklahoma loses to LSU, maybe Miami goes down again on the road at Pitt where the weather's supposed to be bad. Ole Miss could quit on their coach because he's leaving.
We'll find out about
the
that
Egg
in
Bowl.
2 minutes.
Like Georgia could lose to Georgia Tech. Right? There's a lot going on this weekend, so hopefully we get some shakeup because that'd be a lot of fun. But it's been very stagnant at the top now for a long, long, long time.
You seem very defeated by it. Weirdly, like
well,
I know
fun
you love
doing
it,
this.
but
It's fun doing this, especially when they're like, "Hey, where'd they? Oh, let's pop them up. They just won a big game." I feel like the Dirty Polls, outside of 9, 10, 11, and 12, which is kind of rotated and shuffled through different teams, the rest of the Dirty Polls has been the same the entire season.
Well, you're right, but also it's been a year where we've coincidentally comped it to 07.
Yes, not a lot of. It has not been as 07 as it looked like it was going to be early on.
It faded after a while. It looked like 07, and then it stopped, and it just.
Until Ohio State loses, A&M loses to Texas, although that's different now, though, too, because you're still in the playoff no matter what.
Mario losing this weekend would be hilarious. I am rooting so hard to watch Ohio State lose just to watch their fan
God, I
base
hope
melt
it happens.
down.
It'd be so much fun.
And you know me, I've given the take on the text. I'll give it on the show. I don't really care. I think Ohio State loses before getting to the title game in the playoff.
Yeah, you're going untested. Buckeyes this year.
I mean, there's a little bit
fair.
to that. You know, at least Oregon last year going undefeated, you can say, like, how lucky in this game or that, whatever. At least they were tested.
Yeah.
And Ohio State will be tested by Indiana.
And I think Michigan this weekend, but maybe not.
Well, let's see. You know, maybe you're right. Maybe Michigan will extend that. But until I see them get tested.
They haven't been in a dogfight since Labor Day weekend. They have not been in a one-possession game since the first week of the year. They have blown everybody else out. There was the Penn State game that was like, hey, it's 17-14 at the half. What's going on? And then it was 38-14. Yeah.
Certainly, yeah. But being tested is a different thing. So.
That's my fear of them, I think, to add to your point of I think learning how to win close games is an important thing to come together as a team and do. And like, hey, when we're under fire here, how are we going to respond to this?
A&M has done it like
time and time again, right?
This year, yeah.
That's been there. Georgia's done it a whole bunch. Oregon's done it a whole bunch. Like you look at teams, Indiana's a little bit of this too. Like outside of the Oregon game, and then I guess the Penn State game. Touche. So they have a couple of examples. There's a few. Ohio State has not played a one-score game since literally the first game of the season. And maybe they do this weekend, and it doesn't have any bearing on the end of their year, but there is that idea of I think it's important to learn how to win close games.
We are going to take a pause here. We're going to have a ticker guest. Jake Thompson covers Ole Miss for On 3.
Yes.
I want to ask him, would he be willing to bet that Ole Miss is going to lose Lane Kiffin or keep Lane Kiffin? They got an Egg Bowl, and reportedly they're going to make some announcement after the Egg Bowl. I have no idea if that's a good or bad thing. It's all weird. Jake Thompson will join us next for the Daily Ticker, but first, Swag with the Sports Update.
This is a Rivalry Week edition of Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make if your grandma were from the Big Island. Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com. First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks took a step closer to securing a spot in the college football playoff, moving up to 6th in the latest rankings released Tuesday. They leapfrogged Ole Miss and are projected to host the ACC champion in a first-round playoff game. Things not so rosy for Dana Altman's basketball team, now 0-2 at the Players Era Festival in Vegas. They get blown out by San Diego State 97-80. They'll close out the tournament Thanksgiving morning against Creighton. Pregame on the Fan at 10:30 a.m., tip at 11. Trailblazers can secure a spot in the NBA Cup knockout round with a win over the Spurs tonight on Moda Center. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 1016. They're 1.5 point favorites over the Spurs, who will not have Victor Wembanyama. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home. Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Roto-Rooter on the Fan Sports Network. In this wide world of sports, some stories can slip through the cracks.
Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules.
Pelican Brewing presents the Daily Ticker, where Dirt and Sprague hit the big stories you've heard about, and some you haven't.
How'd you do that? Actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
The Daily Ticker with Dirt and Sprague is brought to you by Pelican Brewing. Gather your flock with Pelican's new Flock Party IPA, bringing big hop flavor to every game day celebration.
Daily Ticker brought to you by Pelican Brewing's Flock Party IPA, bold, balanced, and brewed for good company. It's the kind of beer that brings people together, a beer Dirt would have once drank on this day in a different life.
About 13 of them, probably.
Yeah, probably. Whether it's game day, beach day, or just another reason to gather your flock, you can visit them at Pelican Brewing because they are born at the beach. I'm very excited for our next guest. We love to go down south once in a while and talk with our SEC brethren, Jake Thompson of On3 on Twitter at Jake Thompson On3. He writes for OM Spirit on 3, one of the Ole Miss beat writers, does an exceptional job. Jake, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Let's start with our big poll question of the day before we dive into the lane train. Is Jake Thompson, is he pro cake or pro pie? Which one would he choose?
I am a pro pie guy. Pumpkin pie, pecan pie, however it's pronounced, pecan up there. So mark me down as a pie guy.
Okay, my co-host is a big cake guy. He's a super anti-pie guy, and he's getting destroyed today.
I'm getting killed. It's all right. I knew I was going to get killed. I'm a unicorn.
Let's start with the big news, which is why we're having you on. Maybe this is cool and normal, and this is how you think it should be handled. I have no clue what Lane Kiffin's going to ultimately decide, but I found the announcement that we'll tell you after the Egg Bowl. I find it all very bizarre, very odd. If he's not coming back, like, what a weird way to get people ready for an announcement. What have you made of the way they've rolled out waiting for what Lane Kiffin's going to do?
Yeah, I think just right off the bat, I think Kiffin's, at least his protocol here, that's all we're familiar with, is not speaking about jobs, contracts in season. That's something he just is adamant about. But I think this year it's the one time he probably should have amended that, because this is probably even bigger smoke, obviously, than in 2022 when the Auburn job and him flirting with it, and his daughter doing a PowerPoint, keeping him here, all this and that was, heavily discussed and written about and rehashed in that ESPN documentary. But because he is just choosing to say no comment in many different ways, it's just allowed everybody else to come up with their own, ideas, talk to sources. LSU putting stuff out, announcing, hours after AD Keith Carter here put out that statement about expecting an announcement, which everybody's hanging on to that word expecting come Saturday, which means they could kick the can down the road, which is a theory that I have here in a minute. But, everybody not being able to get an answer out of Kiffin has allowed this thing to just blow up from all three sides, which, Florida, but they're kind of fading, it seems. It really feels like it's Ole Miss or LSU. And then, everybody kind of felt like, well, was writing for Kiffin to kind of the soft launch to get him out the door, get him through the Egg Bowl, let him coach to 11 wins if they can beat Mississippi State, and then go on from there. But we kind of, been doing some reporting, and we put out last night that Kiffin is as online as people think he is. He reads everything. He hears everything, especially national guys. I mean, he loves the national media and what they think and feel about him. And almost every one of them have said they don't understand why he'd leave the situation here, which is what he's been wanting as a coach, to get to a shot at a national title, to go somewhere else and start all over. And so a lot of that, and then how the press conference here Monday with us local guys just was awkward and not fun for anybody. I think that hit him hard. So now it feels like he's kind of back on the fence. And I've been one of those where it sounds simplistic, but it could easily come down to, if Ole Miss wins Friday, gets to 11-1 in the playoffs, he stays. If they lose, go to 10-2, and on the outside looking into that logjam of teams with 2 losses and head to like the Citrus Bowl, he may be out the door. I mean, this man, nobody knows how he thinks but him, and it could be as simple as that.
That is wild. That puts a lot more on the line potentially if that is the way that it plays out. Let me ask you this, because we went through this a lot at Oregon with different coaches, whether it was Chip originally going to the NFL, and then you fire Mark Helfrich, and then Willie Taggart's here for a year, and then Cristobal's here, and then he leaves, and we finally have a coach out here who has been like adamantly, I'm not going anywhere, and every time he's given a mic, I'm not leaving, I'll be here forever. And it's really, it's made him a almost just icon amongst the fan base, right, of finally having a guy who's not going to bail on the team. What percentage of fans right now, and I'm sure this will change on next Friday, a couple of days from now, if he says I'm staying and I'm not leaving, but is there a percentage of the fan base that he's lost currently over the way he's handled this, despite how good of a year that they've had?
Yeah, I think I phrased it to somebody on our message board that the bridge is sizzling. It's not fully burned. He can douse the flames if he wants to, but everybody knows that the message board fan site fans, those are your hardcore diehard fans. Right. I mean, Oregon's got them, Ole Miss has them, and then you've just got your normal, everyday, average Joe fan that is a fan but not as entrenched. He's starting to lose those casual, everyday fans that you run into around town, and he didn't really lose them like this 3 years ago with the Auburn stuff, but with just all this and the family plane trips getting out last week and everything, it just feels like he's kind of thumbing his nose at everybody while he was doing his tweeting and his trolling and calling Oxford home and all the stuff that, that comes with the Lane Kiffin, package. And since Friday night, after he tweeted a photo at the game at Oxford with his son Knox, he had been radio silent. He's retweeted some highlights of Knox's performance, some Ole Miss, stuff, and then last night finally resurrected from his slumber and tweeted a photo of Juice. So who knows what that means? It may mean nothing, but everybody's just kind of tired of it, I guess is the simplest way to say it.
Yeah.
But we all know, and as another one of my colleagues on our site has phrased it for years, it's part of the Lane Kiffin tax. You take that with all the good that he's done these past 6 years.
Well, to follow up on that, because he might, to your point, he might end up staying, and maybe he realizes now's not the time to jump. And LSU's a circus behind the scenes. President, the governor's involved. Like, I want nothing to do with that. Let's not act like Florida's got all their ducks in a row either. So maybe he decides this is going to be, I got a great thing going, and I'm not leaving. How much of this is permanently damaged, though? Because you mentioned the Auburn job a couple of years ago. Like, even if he stays now, what if the Texas job opens up next year? Is this going to be a thing that you have to do every offseason, and how many fans are just out because of that?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that everybody's kind of the caveat at the end of their thoughts is, well, we're going to do this next year, or we may do this again in a month if if Sark doesn't win against A&M and the Texas people are mad and get rid of him or decide to get rid of him after the season, or if the NFL is still always there and they do things how I think a lot of people now, at least at Ole Miss after going through this, would love the college to do is keep coaches off limits till the season's over and fix the calendar, because the NFL doesn't talk to anybody till February, late January, February. So there's a possibility of that. I think that's a slim possibility right now, but I think the NFL is always going to come calling in the back of his head because of how he's fixed kind of his image coaching-wise in college. I know he wants to kind of erase and retcon how that thing with the Raiders went at some point, I think.
Jake Thompson's our guest here. He covers Ole Miss football for On3. I saw one of the graphics On3 put out where it's like a bunch of, you mentioned the national pundits, and he reads and he listens to everything because he wants to know how he's viewed. One guy we have on every week is our good friend Josh Payton. We've had him on for a few years, and for 2 straight weeks, Jake, he has basically told us, like he told us on Monday, that he has talked to Lane Kiffin like 15 times in the last 5 days. Like him and Lane are pretty in communication. I find it all just fascinating, and I'm curious, are you surprised, one, that it hasn't leaked yet? Do we expect it to leak prior to the Egg Bowl? And 2, where would your prediction be right now? I know you're trying to read tea leaves and you're trying to source this as well as you can, and press conferences are weird and funky. Where would Jake Thompson wager today Lane Kiffin decides to do?
Today, I think I would say 51-49 he stays. Now, that sounds like I'm hedging my bet. It probably because I am. Yeah. I probably put markers on black and red at the roulette table. But that's just because it's just so strange. And everybody has brought up the will it leak. The Ross Dellinger had the numbers, the terms that were being finalized for the offer last Friday, hours after the Ole Miss statement. LSU kind of gets some stuff out, or somebody gets some stuff out. So you've got to think that LSU's got an itch trigger finger because, the way this calendar is now with the portal and recruiting, these teams can't wait around. So I think I'm surprised something had gotten out, but I think that speaks to the fact that he really doesn't know. I don't think he's agreed to yes or no on anything anywhere yet. So I would not be shocked if something comes out. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if there's some tweet at 10:58 a.m. Friday morning, 2 minutes before the Egg Bowl, and the team runs out that Lane Kiffin's staying. I mean, none of it would surprise me anymore at this point.
Yeah, you brought up something interesting there. We've talked a little bit about this story because we find it interesting. He's the most wanted guy right now that is coaching a school. Everything he chases or he would want at LSU, as you mentioned, and I've noted this, he literally has it right now. For a guy that's evolved from being this young, nepo baby football guy who doesn't earn it and he kind of gets laughed at and tarmacked, he's really turned everything around and evolved, and I'm surprised he's not kind of evolved this way too, of like, I've wanted what I have. I'm the king here. They're paying me high money. We can clearly win at a high level. They're ranked right now, 7th in the college football playoff, versus going to LSU and saying, you can go win a title? You're literally in the position you have right now. If he decides not to stay and it comes out after the Egg Bowl, is there a scenario in play here where Ole Miss does not allow him to coach forward in the playoff?
No, that's something that's already been discussed internally, and he knows it, and he's tried to kind of fight it. But that's a hard line that Ole Miss is not going to cross. If they get to 11-1, and he tells them he's leaving Saturday or some point before December 7th, when the final rankings come out, he is not coaching anymore at Ole Miss. That is something that's for sure been told to him, and that's the one thing that is also nagging at him, which I think is why everybody's like, well, if it's nagging at him, that means he has a foot out the door, but he still wants to finish.
Yeah.
So it's just hard for people to think that he will stay and mean it. But yeah, no, if Friday could very easily be the last time you see Lane Kiffin in an Ole Miss visor.
Wild. Last one I got for you, Jake. Who knows? Nobody has the answer to this question, but I'm curious because you're close to the program at least. Does this impact the game? I mean, they're on the road in a rivalry game. We've seen players pee in the end zone in years previous. Like, does this impact the way the team plays on Friday? Because as you mentioned, a bit of a shakeup last night in the rankings. Oregon jumps them, which I'm sure is controversial down there. Not as much up here. But all of a sudden, you lose that game. There's a whole chunk of teams that are going to be 10-2, and you got this Kiffin stuff going on. They've already signaled that this might impact the rankings. So a lot on the line for them on Friday morning. Does it impact the way the team plays?
Yeah, no, and TL's point up there, a good friend of mine who covers Ole Miss on the beat, he is a Southern Cal fan, and we watched that game together here in town Saturday, and let's just say he was not very happy with how that game went, but congrats to the Ducks on that one. But as soon as that game was over, I instantly was like, well, Ole Miss they're gonna jump Ole Miss because Ole Miss was off, and I've seen what's happened with idle teams that just didn't have a chance to win, and Oregon got a win over a ranked opponent. So that didn't shock me as much as it may have shocked a lot of people here last night at whatever time the rankings came out. And I was interested that in Hunter Yurachek said to Reese Davis that we don't have a data point, and that may not be as much of a factor as people are thinking. And then he turned around during the local report or national reporter scrum and kind of said the opposite thing. So who knows? But he's right. They don't have a coach that has not been with the playoffs before. I mean, this is all new. Unfortunately, Ole Miss is going to be the petri dish for this if Lane leaves. But I don't think it should affect them if they get to 11-1. If they get to 10-2, that's where you're taking a fight and putting it in the judge's hands. And I don't know if Ole Miss has the resume at this point outside of the Oklahoma win and Tulane to match some of these others with how we've seen the committee shift Ole Miss around when other teams have wins.
I was going to let you go here because we're already way against it. We appreciate your time. We know it's very valuable. I'll ask you, is there a name if Lane leaves that you think Ole Miss would zero in on? Like, I'd imagine they're kicking that around right now, having to think about if Lane does leave, who we have to replace him with. Is there a favorite that you would guess right now with Ole Miss, or is it too up in the air right now?
The heavy favorite is Tulane's John Summerall, who coached here a long time ago under, I believe, Hugh Freeze's staff and has connections here. For him, it's between Auburn and Ole Miss. If Ole Miss has an opening, I think Auburn might miss out. But, yeah, no, he's one that I think they've already done a lot of due diligence on is John Summerall.
There we go. Good stuff. Jake Thompson of On3 covering Ole Miss football on Twitter at Jake Thompson On3 for the On3 Ole Miss spirit. Give him a follow on social media. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Enjoy the Egg Bowl and everything to follow with Lane Kiffin, man. Seems like a real fun circus to follow.
Oh, it's quite the circus. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving, and good luck to y'all the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. You as well. All right, good stuff there on the Daily Ticker, which is brought to you by Pelican Brewing Company, born at the beach, online with 5 coastal locations. Pelican Brewing, again, born at the beach. Fascinating stuff.
A lot of balls in the air, man, and you got a pretty important game going on Friday morning that if they lose, they might be out of the college football playoff.
We have a lot more to get into. We're back with more. It's 7:48 on The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up.
Woo! Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshomservices.com.
They get hot, they start throwing in threes, and we start turning. We can't catch the ball. We can't get back. We can't grab a rebound. It just everything was really out of whack.
Yeah, there's Nick Nurse. You think Peacock enjoyed the Magic winning by 41 points in an NBA Cup game last night?
Call that a ratings bonanza right there. You cup check it, you got to have a point differential at the end of that bad boy. We're going to keep racking these. They had 2 cup. Were all the games last night Cup games? I think so.
Yeah.
And all of them were, I believe, 20-point wins, or at least ballpark in that range, because Washington killed Atlanta, L.A. killed the Clippers, and Lakers killed the Clippers, and the Magic killed the Sixers.
Hey, don't look now. The Magic kind of figuring out a little bit with Desmond Bain.
They are
playing better basketball. Who's stinking it up? The Sixers last night in the Cup check, brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services, who are offering their biggest sale of the year for a limited time. This will expire on November 30th. So keep that in mind. You can buy and install a new AC, and Three Mountains will give you a brand new furnace absolutely free. It's a fantastic deal by a local company. You can visit online at threemountainhomeservices.com to make home services delightful. All right, welcome back in. We got the third hour right around the corner, so I'm going to kind of keep this short. We got a little bit of a shorty here, a Diet Johnson, if you will.
Hello.
We have a lot of college football to dive into. We haven't talked a second of Oregon-Washington. That game is this weekend.
It's a pretty big one, man.
Pretty massive.
We also maybe killed a committee and a trend in one swift move.
We need to get to that. The college football playoff ranking came out yesterday, and my biggest takeaway was, thank you, old man, for doing exactly what old people are known for.
Yeah.
Killing what's cool to all the younger people.
That's what happened to us in our generation from Facebook when it went from only college kids to all of a sudden my aunt's on there, and I don't want to be on there anymore.
Haven't been on Facebook in years.
I don't need you to send me a conspiracy theory. I'm all right. I'm okay.
I'm good. Hey, check out this grain video by a guy whose name is Sasquatch69.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
No thanks, Aunt Eileen. I'm going to pass. Interesting stuff from Thompson. We'll have to wait and see on Lane Kiffin. I know we've talked about it before. That's a slam dunk to me, too. We talked earlier. Do we like Eric Morris at Oklahoma State? I like that hire. I would love Ole Miss going to get John Summerall. I think he's a good coach. He obviously has roots there.
Yeah.
That's a really good pivot for them, and I bet you he's willing to wait to see how the Lane Kiffin thing plays out. Be interesting to see a playoff team without their head coach. It'd be fascinating to watch.
Auburn's also interesting because there's some smoke down there that they might like their interim guy. DJ Durkin is their interim coach right now. He started Deuce Knight, their big freshman quarterback that left everybody saying, why wasn't this guy playing earlier in the year? Our offense has been ass for the entirety of the season.
Was Durkin one of the 3 OCs?
I believe he was the second down OC. I actually don't know which down, but he was one of the
about
OCs.
Him. Like, why didn't you play him?
Totally fair, but he ran all over a no-name college school for the blind last week, and now he's starting in the Iron Bowl. If he wins the Iron Bowl, there's some smoke down there that he might get that job if they win that game.
I'm going to believe you on the reporting of that. I also find it hilarious that there's smoke that he's earned the job because they beat absolute Patsy Nobody with a freshman quarterback.
I believe it was Mercer he had like an 80-yard touchdown run on the first play of the game.
Just something to keep an eye on. Maybe it happens in the third hour or the final hour. I'll just say this. When we talk about coaching hires, I'm kind of thinking or wondering if we're going to hear about Oregon State's hire today.
We got 2 more hours to go in the show. Get something done, Scott Barnes, you bum.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least if during the show it was leaked or found out. And how you weigh where they're going to go with that, Ryan Clark is reporting on this, and he's doing an exceptional job of it. But I have thought for a couple weeks it's a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
And I think the indications are internally that it's between Shepard and Vegan.
Yeah, there's a report that Chris backed out, but was that because they told him he wasn't getting the job and he did the I'm quitting before you fire me thing? And then the North Dakota State was another guy who was referenced and interviewed, I think, and he just got an extension yesterday at North Dakota State.
Yeah, so if I bet, I would do what Jake Thompson did, the 51-49 thing, and I'd put it on Vegan.
Vegan seems like the favorite.
But I also heard last week Shepard was the favorite. They really like Shepard, his pedigree, his resume. The Vegan thing, if it happens and it breaks, we'll talk about that a little bit, maybe even get Clark on. But he's navigated FCS waters for so long and had success that I think giving that guy what would look like a massively upgraded budget might be something that plays more into their favor, whereas Shepard might be the right hire, and it's a roll of the dice, but also he's coming from UW and Bama.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, you went from having creme de la creme to, can you manage this? Do you know how to manage this?
Life's a little bit different in Corvallis than it is Tuscaloosa right now.
No doubt about it. So we'll have to wait and see all much. Keep an ear out, and we'll let you know if it breaks during the program. But I think they're pretty close as well. Loaded third hour of the radio show. We'll talk Oregon, UW. We'll get into some NFL dealings. Maybe talk a little Gobbler. And USC continues to be upset with Lincoln Riley, Loaded third hour. Dirt and Sprague, 105.1 The Fan.
action. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys you can put your trust in. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the Fan. The Oregon Ducks up to 6th in the latest College Football Playoff Committee rankings released Tuesday evening. They leapfrog Ole Miss, currently projected to host the ACC champion in a first-round playoff game. Things not so rosy for Dana Altman's basketball team. They give up 67% shooting to San Diego State and fall 97-80 at the Players Era Festival. 0-2 down there in Vegas. They'll try to get a win against Creighton Thanksgiving morning. You'll hear that on the Fan. Tip at 11 a.m., pregame 10:30. Blazers trying to secure a spot in the NBA Cup knockout round. If they beat the Spurs tonight, they'll do so. San Antonio without Victor Wembanyama. 7 o'clock tip from the Moda Center on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. The Blazers are 1.5-point favorites. After clearing waivers, former Oregon State wide receiver Brandon Cooks has agreed to a contract with Buffalo Bills for the remainder of the season. Bills in Pittsburgh Sunday taking on the Steelers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Odyssey app.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 3. Dirt and Sprague, your Portland sports leader. 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM. The Odyssey app, live on YouTube. We call that the Fan Sports Network. Happy Turkey Eve, everybody. Happy best drinking day of the year to all of my folks out there, all my peeps. Have fun. All the youngs, enjoy the bars tonight. It's always a
Dude, I could
night.
choke down 6 of those easily.
Wake up tomorrow hungover, a little hair of the dog potentially, and you go eat some hungover food. It's just nothing better, man. It's a great 2-day stretch for the youngs with no responsibilities. I miss those days.
Do you at least, like, I know you got Teddy ball game and you're not getting blacked out, but, like, do you at least tonight, do you still drink a couple pops?
I'll have something tonight.
Get a little buzzy and then
post maybe 7:30 bedtime, kind of get the routine done, and then, we'll have a little fun tonight, and then go to bed at 9:30. Well, get a little jam it all in 2 hours. All right, let's go to bed. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired, man. It's been a long week. We got a lot to get to in this hour of radio. In 1 hour from now, we will get to the Magic Hat, and we'll explain that if you're new to the program. And we're going to Sprague the Line on a Wednesday because this is our last show of the week. I also I need to go back on the Fan text line. We were talking pizza last Friday. You know what dawned on me yesterday? So we were having a conversation about pizza and Pizza Friday.
Papa Murphy's.
And we had a bro from Papa Murphy's reach out and was like, hey, can I bring you guys in pizzas next week? And we immediately were like, hell yeah, that sounds great. We're not going to be here on Friday.
Oh, did they volunteer to do Friday?
They said, can I bring pizza in next Friday? And I responded, I was like, we'd love pizza next Friday. That sounds great. Did not connect in my brain at all that we're not going to be here. So I got to find, if you're listening right now, Papa Murphy's bro,
can you
please text in and don't bring pizza because we're not going to be here. There will not be anybody here
We'll
on
be
Friday.
here next Friday.
Next Friday we'll be here and we will eat your pizza. You bring your pizza and we will eat your pizza. But this Friday, we won't be here. So we got a lot to get to in this hour of radio. Let's get to, we have not talked about it yet. Did we watch the college football playoff ranking release last night?
I hate admitting this to you.
You actually watched it?
Haven't watched one single show reveal this season, and I don't plan to. I just don't get anything from it.
No.
All I need to know as a show host is what the ranking is.
Give me the numbers, and then I'm good to go.
And I'll have my own thoughts. Now, we get cuts in the systems that say this is why this team's this place. And most of the time, they don't make any sense.
No.
And so we end up calling it out anyway and saying, I don't agree with this. So, yeah, I don't really watch a lot of college basketball, especially now that my team blows chunks.
God. Yeah, we're both on rough stretches right now. We can't win a game. You guys lost 4 in a row. You guys can't beat UMass.
We're losing to Evansville.
Is Marcus Camby there?
Iona beat us.
That's not good.
So, like, I don't watch a lot of college hoops, so I'm not watching that show, and I also don't care. We only had one good thing happen from yesterday. Well, we had two. The first is I need this. Like, I need oxygen. I need Mario Cristobal coming out in Autzen Stadium in a Miami polo.
I get that that's a really fun thing to say. It is honestly getting to the point where I'm, like, yelling at my screen, whatever screen I'm looking at, when we put these brackets out. That's not the bracket. Miami's not going to win the ACC.
I'm just telling you what the latest bracket is.
I mean, I get it, but like, can we all put our thinking hats on for a moment and say that the spot goes to the conference champion?
6-11. It's right now. It's Miami, Oregon,
but Miami's not going to win They need about 87 things to happen.
They might get those.
They might lose to Pitt on Saturday.
That also could happen.
I know.
Yeah,
look, you're totally right in terms of like, God, that would be so much fun to watch. But I'm getting really angry every time I see those put out because they're in fourth place in the They're not winning the ACC.
See, here's the good news. This is why I don't watch the show. I just get to react to a bracket. And the second thing...
Well, they're the highest-ranked ACC team, so that's why they're in there, but we're not even computing the conference standings into the potential brackets, which is really dumb.
Look, I am.
But I digress.
Maybe they get the 87 things to break their way.
They could. They could get in as an at-large if a bunch of teams lose, too. You could have two ACC teams in.
But Mario being in and having to go back to Autzen Stadium and then
glorious.
Probably getting his ass kicked because Miami cannot win a game on the road would be hilarious.
You want to play the fun, hypothetical line on that game? I saw this yesterday. So they do every time these come out, they do these hypothetical. What would the line be on the
Oregon
game?
minus 5.5,
7.5.
I was gonna guess 7.5.
Yeah, north of a touchdown. I was surprised it was north of a touchdown.
Miami's so bad on the road.
Because what was the USC line? 9.5 last weekend.
9.5, and it got to 10, and then a guy got bet down again, and they covered that number. The second thing was what the Juracek guy said, and that's the funny thing about that show. I don't care about the show; it's what he said. And the impact, hopefully, it has on our society.
So we're hoping a trend came to an end last night. I also think, look, maybe I'm going way over my skis here. This might be the beginning of the end of the college football playoff. This is we can talk about how dumb it is, and I'm not going to watch the show because I get nothing out of it, and you're 100% correct in that take. What they're putting together, though, matters greatly. You were talking about the difference of millions of dollars for schools, let alone if you get to host a college football playoff game. What does that do for your economy and the revenue? Like, there is so much at stake here. The first question, so for those who didn't see the rankings, they come out last night. The only really noteworthy thing was that Oregon jumped Ole Miss. Oregon is now the 6th-ranked team in the college football playoff after beating USC last weekend. Ole Miss did not play. Outside of that, in the top 13, there was nothing else that swapped other than Miami jumped Utah. Those were the only changes really in the top 15 of the rankings. Miami jumping Utah with their dominant win over Virginia Tech, and Oregon jumping Ole Miss. That was it. So they started. Here's the question and answer. This is Hunter Juracek, who is the athletic director at Utah, I believe. Is that correct? Utah? Yeah, final answer? Sure. And he asked him, hey, Oregon jumps Ole Miss. How much of that had to do with Lane Kiffin and all this stuff? And listen to his answer.
That is part of the criteria, though. If that were to occur, then that can be part of the consideration in evaluating Ole Miss, right?
It is in the protocol, but I'm not sure we will have a data point to use that as part of the protocol.
What do you mean by that? That you won't have a data, meaning that you don't know what's going to happen with the coaching situation, or you will not have seen the team play without the coach?
We'll get there. Hold on.
Correct.
Which is correct? The latter?
We will not have seen the team play without. Yes, we would not have seen the team play without a coach.
That's if Kiffin leaves.
That's if Kiffin leaves. I forgot we had 200 Juracek ones.
One, I love that they're pretending as if that's not going to impact them. They literally did this to Florida State.
Yeah,
so,
without a quarterback.
It's going to impact it.
He's from Arkansas, too. My apologies. I thought they added the Utah guy on once the Baylor guy got in his problems. Here is the line that might end a trend and the College Football Playoff Committee.
We're joined by the chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, Hunter Juracek. Hunter, not a lot of changes. You had to go all the way down to number 15 last week to find a team that lost when SC lost to Oregon. But there was a change at 6-7 with Oregon and Ole Miss swapping spots. How much of an impact potentially could it be on Ole Miss if it's determined they don't have their head coach in the field?
6-7. But seriously, Rich, we didn't have any discussion about Ole Miss and their coach.
Called him Rich.
That was all about Oregon
Rich.
and their performance against
No,
USC.
but Rich.
Their strength of schedule continues to climb. They've been dominant
He wanted
on
the joke. He wasn't ready to answer the question.
No. Really good in special teams. and the committee had been waiting for them to have this signature win to really put them where we thought they deserved to be.
I mean, look,
he really just wanted to do the 6-7 thing.
That's all he wanted to do.
Blanked out. I was like, thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich. That's not my name. Look, Oregon should be ranked ahead of Ole Miss. You can call me biased all you want. Don't almost lose at home to Washington State. No offense to the Cougs, but come on, dude. Get out of here. They played the Citadel 2 weeks ago. They damn near lost to Florida at home, who's a dumpster fire. So spare me the pearl clutching by SEC teams.
Right.
Oregon's better metrics and ratings in almost every category over Ole Miss. They deserve to be ranked higher. That's not the point. The point is you had the current college football playoff chair make a 6-7 joke on ESPN to a deadpan panel and then go into an answer that didn't really provide any context.
Because he wasn't ready to answer it. I legitimately believe he just wanted to do the 6-7 thing. And I really do mean this. I hope it ends it. I'm not mad at kids for jumping on a trend. We all did some kind of version of this as a kid.
Okay!
You still do WhatsApp. And I can't believe that's still a thing for you, but it's
still
a thing.
Real to me, damn it.
But usually when old people start dabbling into the popular terms, it's what ends it. So doing 6-7 awkwardly and then calling the host, who's Reese, Rich, I hope it deads it. I hope that's it.
I also hope it kills the College Football Playoff Committee because this entire thing is dumb. They're not watching games. They're athletic directors. They all have other jobs. This idea that this is the group of people that is allowed to answer the question who gets to go compete for a title.
You're not wrong there.
We're on the brink of, there wasn't really a lot of chaos last year. At the end of the year, the only debate, if I remember correctly, was SMU had lost the ACC title game. Clemson got the automatic bid. So is it an SMU or is it a 9-3 Bama, South Carolina, Ole Miss? And you had those chunk of 3-loss SEC teams. And I maintain the stance, and I will do it again this year for whoever plays in conference titles. They're not going to punish you for losing an extra game. You get the reward of going to play in that game, and you shouldn't get the punishment of losing that game. And I think that stance will stay. So I wasn't surprised. There wasn't a lot of debate. We kind of knew who the teams were going to be going in. You play out a scenario here, man. Ole Miss, let's say Ole Miss loses the Egg Bowl. Let's say Oregon loses to Washington. And then you have just a huge chunk of 10-2 teams of Oregon, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami. Let's say Vanderbilt beats Tennessee. They're a 2-loss team. Let's say Michigan beats Ohio State. They're a 2-loss team.
I think Michigan's in if they win.
Right? So who gets bumped out in that scenario? Because you also might have an ACC team that's outside the top 10. So your ACC champ is likely going to be Virginia or SMU, who will not be ranked there.
No.
And your group of 6 teams. So then you're only getting the top 10 ranked teams in the country. And in this scenario, are you bumping out Notre Dame for Michigan? You bumping out Alabama if they win the Iron Bowl? They'd be in the SEC title game. You bumping out Oregon at 10-2? You bumping out Oklahoma at 10-2? Ole Miss at 10? There's going to be a chunk of teams who get left on the side, which is good for debate. It's good for controversy. Well, I'm just reminded of this jackass saying 6-7 on ESPN is the head of the chair that's going to decide millions of dollars in budgeting and revenue that's going to go to different institutions because they're allowed to be the ones that pick who can play for a playoff.
Do you think them moving up to 6 secured them if they lose?
I can't say fully secured. I thought it was a massive story last night that they moved up to number 6 because it gives them a buffer to potentially lose. And if they are to win, it gives them a very favorable pathway of not only hosting a game, but then getting the more favorable of the first-round bye teams.
They win, they're hosting. I mean,
without a doubt.
It's that cut and dry.
They might have a shot at a top 4 spot at this point,
depending on how the chaos
things
goes.
shake out.
Right, there's no doubt.
If they win.
Was Washington in the top 25?
Washington is not in the top 25.
Okay, so
Washington fan is pissed again that they're not in the top 25. You know who is, though?
Oh, no.
Arizona.
Arizona?
Are we paying attention to what Brett Brennan's doing? That's a ranked matchup now.
I have.
Just people made that joke because Jed Fish left Arizona, and now they're in the top 25
and
in year 2, and Washington is not.
Year 2, after having a bad year 1 at Arizona. Sure. Good year for Brennan. Yeah, no, I think yesterday kind of told us they're going to host, and in the chance they lose, I still think they're going to get a benefit and get in. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
You're going to play the ratings games. Who's had the highest ratings on 3 of the top highest rated CBS games?
CBS slate sucked, but yeah, Oregon.
I mean, go look at the highest ratings. It's just, you can hate Oregon all you want. Oregon is almost always involved in the highest rated games in college football every year. It's a TV product, man. So no, Notre Dame's going to get in. Michigan's going to get in. Oregon's going to get in. Who do you sort after that? The ACC is going to get the last.
Miami is out in that scenario. Would they bump Notre Dame out?
No, I think they keep Notre Dame in.
Okay. Because we're running out of spots. If all this chaos plays out.
I mean, it's
you want Notre Dame in. It's a
television show. You want Notre Dame in it.
Yeah, I just think the idea of a committee chair, I mean, this stuff, we can, again, laugh at it's all going to settle itself, right? And maybe there's not a lot of drama. Maybe
they're so hot. There hasn't been so far.
No, the one-loss teams win, and maybe let's say Vanderbilt loses, so they're out of contention, and Miami loses, so they're out of contention, and it all kind of settles itself. But if you are heading for controversy on Selection Sunday, which would be in a couple of weeks or a week from Sunday, right after conference championship games, I think it's a really bad look. I hope it ends the trend because I think it's kind of a dumb thing, but it's also kids just being kids. But at the same time, like, this is massively important, dude. Ole Miss getting bumped down a spot is massive for that university and that community. How many millions of dollars would the Oxford community make if they are to host a college football playoff game? Right? Like, that's a game changer for them. Not to mention the revenue that you get from the TV part of it for making the playoff, and you come on screen with a 6-7 joke trying to make light of it. It's all a dumb system. It shouldn't exist in the first place, and I hope it ended a trend and the committee yesterday. Speaking of what Oregon has to play for, let's get to that game a little bit. They're going on the road to Seattle this weekend. Haven't had a lot of chatter on the game so far. Where's the confidence meter? Where's the nervous meter for Duck fan? Start diving into that matchup a little bit. Talk about it next on 105.1 FM The Fan.
Sports Network.
I know it's a little unique, but we will Sprague the line on a Wednesday today. So that's coming up in an hour. Get your fake sponsors in, the fan text line, 503-864-6326. Wanted to read one quick thought here. And look, I'm always, this thing, it's fun for me to debate this. I could talk about this stuff till I'm blue in the face, and I know sometimes you roll your eyes at me. Guys, I used to agree with Dirt that we need auto bids for conferences as a playoff format, but now I'm completely against it. The conferences are so big that seeding will be determined by weird tiebreakers, not on the field, with many teams not even playing each other. The ACC and Big 12 doesn't deserve 2 auto bids. Look at those conferences. They suck. 12 auto bids would make things worse than a committee. Look at the ACC standings. It's a complete mess.
Well, take the ACC here, right? Because I know you probably have a thing to sound off on that, but take the ACC.
Yeah.
The committee has told us they hate the conference.
Miami is the best team in the ACC according to the committee, and they are in 5th place in the ACC right now.
If the committee could not put Virginia or SMU,
they would do it in a heartbeat.
They wouldn't hesitate. So if you just did English Premier League style play this year and whoever's at the top and you sort out and let the committee pick, they'd choose Miami.
Yes.
Even if it ended exactly what the standings are today.
Yes, they would. If it just went to the highest ranked team from the conference got in, then Miami would be a lock to make the playoffs.
I think the only problem, I would imagine one argument you have against that, and many people would have against that, is like, okay, well, if you eliminate automatic bids for conference as conference qualifiers, then you're basically going to allow the committee to take in the top 5 and top 10 Big Ten SEC teams.
Right. Yeah, I would just say, look, I'm open for debate on it, and there might be unintended consequences that I don't see coming. I would say we're already there, though. Like Virginia plays Virginia Tech this weekend. Do they win the game? I have no idea. Do they go on and win the ACC? I don't know. Virginia has not played essentially anybody with a pulse inside that conference. They have not played Miami. They did not play Pitt this year. They did not play Georgia Tech this year. They did not play SMU this year. Like, I'm just going up and down the ACC standings. The best team in the conference that they have played is 8-3 Wake Forest. And how did that game go? They lost the game. So, like, we're already there that Virginia, because of their bloated conference, is now going to potentially get a trip to the ACC title game where it's one game. They might win the game. And if Virginia wins that game, guess what? They're in the college football playoff. And they were there largely because their conference schedule, similar to the Indiana scenario last year, was not a balanced schedule. They just didn't have to play anybody at the top of the conference. Look at Ole Miss this year in the SEC. Ole Miss right now is, if they win this weekend, they're a lock to be in the playoff no matter what happens with Lane. If you take the top 8 teams right now in the standings of the SEC, they're one of them, so then it's the next 7. You know how many of those teams Ole Miss has played this year? 1. Actually, I take that back, 2. They played Georgia and Oklahoma. They beat one of them, and they lost the other. They did not play A&M. They did not play Alabama. They did not play Texas. And they just go down the list. So,
but they
didn't play Vanderbilt. They didn't play Tennessee.
But they were kind of, for a while, they're dominating Georgia.
Sure. I'm not saying that Ole Miss doesn't deserve to get in. I'm just saying I think what you're complaining about is already in existence. I think A&M is a benefactor of this. That's going to be the reality of extra teams being in conferences, and it's dumb. The Pac-12 should come back. These Texas and Oklahoma should go back to the Big 12.
I agree.
That's the perfect way to make this
all work.
Undo
what you've done.
In this current landscape, that's how the sport should look. But until that happens, I'm not going to complain about something that's already a problem. That would be a problem continuing in the new format, if that makes any sense. Oregon goes on the road to Washington this weekend.
Yeah, they do.
I was watching Pate's show last night. He does upset meters. He put it at a 7.5 out of 10.
Pretty high.
On an upset meter. It will be a 12:30 kick. I will be at Grand Central Bowl at 8 a.m.
What?
On Saturday morning. They do not open until we're off the air, so don't come hang out with us. But come after the show is over
Tubbs
and
kept
watch
saying
football.
9.
They were trying to figure it out. They didn't have the
I know.
They got word a little too late, right, at what time the kickoff was going to be. Where is your upset alert meter on Oregon in Seattle on Saturday?
I'll go lower than 7.5. I think this is at a solid 6 for me.
Okay.
It's right in the middle. It's a little above. I certainly give them a shot, but because of the health uncertainty, and I don't care what anybody has said this week, because I don't know where Coleman's at and Boston's at, if they go out there and Coleman's a beast again, because Muhammad's good, but as you mentioned yesterday, Coleman's just better, and Boston's out there running crisp routes, all right, I'll give it it's live, and I think Huskies' defense is a little underrated in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the numbers behind them aren't terrible.
But they allow too many negative plays to happen with tackles for loss, and so I think that's going to be a big advantage for the Duck pass rush and pressure they're going to apply. Betcher should be going in the road feeling amazing based on how he played. I don't expect Brandon Finney to have as bad a game as he had last weekend, even if Boston does play.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I think Oregon's going to be able to expose Washington on the ground a little bit with their rushing attack, Washington's got a shot. But I think ultimately Oregon wins this game, and I believe I had Oregon covering. So
yeah, you took them to cover earlier in the week.
I think Oregon is going to ultimately pull away in this one.
Swag, where's your upset alert meter at?
It's probably at a 5. Now, depending on the health of Washington, that could go up.
If Boston's not playing, that's going
well. The other part of it you got to keep in mind for Washington, too, is that they're down. Like we're talking about Oregon's offensive line and who plays. They got one of their offensive linemen. They're trying to ease back into practice yesterday and today, but they're not sure if he's going to be able to play. And then another offensive lineman can only play if he has a cast on his hand. Which I don't know a lot about playing offensive line, but I imagine that's a little difficult to block somebody if one of your hands has a cast and you can't, not that they don't hold every play, but they hold on every play and you can't get, that's a difficult scenario to put in. So it seems like they're going to be down at minimum one starting offensive lineman, and the second one they're waiting to see if he can go. So if Oregon's banged up there, Washington might be just as banged up.
They're just as banged up and they're not as deep as Oregon is, and hopefully Oregon gets one or two guys back that have been close the last couple of weeks. I just think they're too complete across the board. It might look similar to USC, kind of back and forth early, and then Oregon gets the key stop, or they get a big special teams play, something along those lines, a turnover to flip it. They go up 2 scores, and then Washington can't just control trying to run the football. They've got to put it more in DeMond Williams, and that's not one. If Oregon forces Washington to become one-dimensional, that's not in the Huskies' favor.
I think you need a really good game out of DeMond Williams. Like, this is a big showcase game for him. He has not been great in previous times against high-quality opponents. His stat lines against Ohio State and Michigan have not been very good this year. It's not all his fault, and that connects to my second big point, and that is, if you want this upset meter to rise as the game goes on, you have to find a way to run the football in Oregon. You just do. You have to be balanced offensively. When you look at the 2 games, the Wisconsin game is kind of whatever. It's bad weather. That was a horrible loss for them. The other 2 games that they lost, and they got kind of controlled, especially in the second half as the game went on. They were in the games at halftime, and then it got out of hand for them in the second half. The Michigan game and the Ohio State game. In the Michigan game, it was on the road, so not quite an apples to apples, but 23 carries as a team for 40 yards. That's 1.7 yard per carry. Now, some of that is sack yardage. Coleman in that game had 16 carries for 50 yards. But he didn't have a run longer than 8 yards. That's a 3 yard per carry average. The Ohio State game that they lost at home, and Ohio State's probably the best defense in the country this year, so I don't know if Oregon's quite to that level. They had 30 carries for 61 yards as a team. Now, again, part of that is sack yardage. DeMond Williams in that game had negative 28 rushing yards because of the sack numbers. Coleman in the game had 13 carries for 70 yards. You can see that's pretty damn good. It was one run of 35 yards that he got half of his yards on.
Right.
And then it was 12 carries for 35 yards outside of that, and they just couldn't do anything on the ground. And so I think DeMond Williams, as he grows and develops, is going to be such a dangerous quarterback to face. I don't know if he's quite there yet. What he desperately needs is, one, again, these examples, he has to avoid the negative plays and the turnovers because he gets a wild hair up his nose. He did it last week early in the UCLA game where I was watching, and their offense got off to a rough start, and you're like, is there something here? Are they going to be bad on the road? They got a lead, and then he threw a pick, and then UCLA couldn't make him pay because UCLA's a dead team walking. But he can turn the ball over a little bit. In the the Michigan game, I think he threw, 3 picks in that game, and you got to have balance offensively. If Washington can't run the football, I think their defense can, especially if Oregon's banged up and their offensive linemen aren't back and the receivers aren't back and it's a tough road environment. You tell me Oregon's only able to get to 24, I'm not surprised by that. But if Washington can't run the football, then I love Oregon's chances of slowing down that offense completely.
Yeah, I just if this was next year's team, like there was that extra year for everybody and everybody was back. Like Coleman, I know, is gone, right? Boston seems like he's gone too.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be one of the best receiving prospects in it. Then I would give this a little higher. But because of where they're at year 2, they've had a good year. I don't remember if I said 9-3 or 8-4 at the beginning, and then if I flipped it, I think I went to 8-4. So this is about where I thought they would end up being.
I got your answer for you right here.
Because I know we did flip it, stick it with our local teams, but I think I started 9-3 and I flipped to 8-4.
You started 9-3 and flipped to 8-4.
Okay, so
yes,
this is just one of those, like, it's not an impossibility. We certainly know college football is weird in rivalry games. imagine that crowd is going to be as raucous as they have all year for any game, including Ohio State.
Weather's going to be great. Thanksgiving weekend.
But Oregon's a different level right now, and Washington, I don't believe, is there yet. I think this is an uncomfortable, weird, close game. And then ultimately, I just think the horses are different and they pull away at the end.
A lot on the line, man. Oregon might be out of the college football playoff with a loss. Where you at on this one, Duck fans? The fan text line 503-864-6326. We'll read some thoughts on the other side. Also get your fake sponsors in. We're going to Sprague the line in an hour. The Magic Act coming up top of the hour. Some more NFL thoughts to come this hour. And one last look at rivalry week around college football is next. But first, here's Swag with Sports Center.
This is a rivalry week edition of Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks a step closer to securing a spot in the college football playoff. They are 6th in the latest rankings released Tuesday evening, jumping over Ole Miss, currently projected to host the ACC champion in a first-round playoff game. Trailblazers looking to secure a spot in the NBA Cup knockout round. They just need to beat the Spurs tonight at home at Moda Center. 7 o'clock tip. San Antonio still without Victor Wembanyama. You can see this one on KUNP. That's Xfinity Channel 1016. Blazers holding as 1.5-point favorites. After clearing waivers, former Oregon State wide receiver Brandon Cooks has been signed to the active roster of the Buffalo Bills for the remainder of the season. Bills in Pittsburgh on Sunday, taking on the Steelers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard for the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday. Network.
Well, we're all awaiting the smoke from Corvallis. Will the orange smoke come from the chimney announcing a new head coach? For your Beavers, we reportedly have another opening that has been filled. This is according to Trey Schapp. You probably never heard of him, neither have I, but he's got 18,000 followers on Twitter, and he's been covering Arkansas football since 1996.
Seems believable.
Pig suey. And he is reporting that they have sent an offer to, and that offer has been accepted to be the next head coach from Alex Golish, who is currently the head coach at South Florida. Their chances of making the college football playoff have diminished greatly in the last couple of weeks. And he is reporting that Alex Golish of South Florida, who was the talk early in the season, remember they beat Florida in Gainesville. They had another win in there. Boise State opening week of the season, and then Miami kind of derailed things for him a little bit. But that he's going to be the next head coach at Arkansas.
Good hire.
Yeah.
I don't mind any of these programs. I know some SEC fans probably live in the we should be expecting to go above this level. Like we heard about that with LSU and Summerall, right? And Florida was this guy literally went into their building and beat them with a lesser talented team, and they're not going to hire him because they just tried this with Napier and it didn't go well.
Right.
And I find that a little odd. Like maybe they ultimately get the right person at Florida. But what if you interviewed this guy and he's the right person? If you operate out of the last one didn't work, so none of them can work in the future, I think you're destined to fail. Now, that being said, we don't know who's going to take the Florida job, so I'll be fair there. But this guy was in the backyard and they didn't want him. I love schools that are willing to say, yeah, he's coming from a lower division, but look what he's done.
Yeah.
He's a very bright guy. He did an interview, I want to say it was a week or two ago. I was randomly listening to, it was after Bama lost. So I was driving in. I wanted to listen to W Jocks over there in Birmingham, which is one of the highest rated shows in America.
Yeah, it's huge.
And they had him on. They were interviewing him, just a random interview. And he had one of the best answers about coaching mistakes out of quarterbacks that I've ever heard in my life. Like, can you actually do it, or is it just who somebody is?
Yeah, they're just mistake prone.
Dude, he gave like a 4-minute answer. I'm in my car. I'm like, God, that is amazing. Amazing insight on how a coach, somebody like that, would view it. And I know that's just one-off example. He's had a great year. And so I like that Arkansas saying, you know what? He worked for us. We've got good resources. I don't think the expectations for them are going to be right away, go win the SEC.
No.
They may get there eventually, but they go in there. He goes in there, and he's 6+ wins this year, and it looks positive. He's going to look like a great coach.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think, the staple that you put on all these hires is who the hell knows, man. It's like drafting quarterbacks. Sometimes there's an obvious, like, oh, I don't think that's going to work out for you, a la J.J. McCarthy, but then other times it's just nobody has any clue how that's going to work out, just like nobody talked about Kurt Cignetti when he was hired at James Madison.
I had no idea what to make of that.
I never heard of that guy until that. I didn't even know he was a coach at James Madison at the time, so who the hell knows how it works. That's the reporting out of Arkansas right now. I wanted to read a couple of quick thoughts here on the Oregon-Washington game.
By the way, more outlets are confirming it.
Okay, so that is legit. Yeah, good for that local guy getting the scoop, man. That's kind of the way the Lanning one broke. I remember it was a random Atlanta Journal-Constitution guy. And I was like, I've never heard of this reporter, but he's saying Oregon's got their next head coach. And then like an hour later, everybody confirmed it. This is from a Beaver fan. I enjoyed this. I hate both these stupid teams and their stupid colors. But my upset meter for the Ducks is at 0. They're going to throttle and destroy the Huskies. Wow. All right. Another one. If Damon Williams could have just not fumbled the ball inside the 10 against Wisconsin, this Saturday could have been for a playoff spot on the line for both teams. Yeah. I mean, I would just say to those, and I do this with every fan base, I think you got to play that game both ways. Like, you also very easily could have lost the Maryland game when you were down 20-0 late in the third quarter. So if you're going to go woulda, coulda, shoulda with wins, you got to go woulda, coulda, shoulda with losses. So let's play it even on each side.
This is not the week where you're going to agree with any pro-UW opinion either.
No.
So let's also be fair on that.
Not going to happen. Somebody said, I was nervous about the game, so I woke up yesterday and decided to buy front row tickets to take my family to the game. Go Ducks. Ballsy move.
All right, I like that.
Front row tickets still available. Huskies giving away front row tickets. What's going on there?
I'll also say this. That's a cool little gift you're giving your family.
Yeah.
Overrated front row at football games.
It is. Not a great view.
Give me the middle
of the 100 level, the lower bowl, middle of the, that's where you need to be.
I love, and you know what's funny is I had a family member in town went to the Minnesota-Oregon game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he showed me pictures of where he was sitting, and I said, dude, nice seats, man. He's like, yeah, they were. I'm really appreciative of them. I like to see a little more of the field.
You wanted to be up higher.
Well, I'm with him here.
Yeah.
When I go to football games, I love more of the all-22. I like to see the play develop. I like to see the quarterback going deep, and I'm like, oh, my God, he's got a guy. I love to see how it's all developing, whereas if you're too low...
You can't see all that stuff, man.
You can't even tell how many yards a guy gains sometimes at the right angle. You're like, is that 3 yards? And they're like, gain of 6. And you're like,
Oh, okay.
All right, there we go.
Nice run. Another one, Damon Williams plays way too much hero ball to win these types of games. That's the biggest thing. I pointed that out last segment. I think he's got to learn how to develop and just take just throw it away. Don't take negative sacks. Don't turn the football. Like Washington has to do. If he comes out and takes sacks and turns the ball over, there's no chance Washington wins this game.
I think the one thing about that, I don't disagree with the opinion. I think this is part of growth and development for him. Maybe they've had the conversation internally. I feel like when I'm watching him play and watching Washington, it is a lot of I'm scrambling to make a play instead of scrambling as the play.
Yeah.
If he commits to his legs, like he did that last year against Oregon.
He had a good game on the ground. He had a good game on the ground, yeah.
Right. You take the sack yardage away.
He was sacked 10 times in that game.
Right. So, like, if he is able to escape that, I think he's trying too much to make the play with his arm down the field. Whereas,
just go pick up 5 yards, get down, and go 2nd and 5. Yeah.
Make 2nd and 5. Yeah. Make it 3rd and 2. Like, whatever the situation is, my takeaway is I think he's been trying too much to move the ball down the field, and he's forcing the issue. Whereas, like, I feel like he can get some positive yardage with his legs if he just commits to it.
One more thought. It was against UCLA, so take it with a big grain of salt. But last week, the Washington front seven finally started to dominate and were able to get major pressure. They lit up UCLA's quarterbacks. Finally, we got some significant negative plays. Again, not the best competition in the world, but if they can make life uncomfortable for Dante Moore this weekend, their secondary is certainly good enough to keep Oregon's offense down. That's a huge part of the game.
Point.
It's a huge part of the game. I'm not putting any stock in what they did against UCLA to have a bearing on the Oregon game because I think UCLA is a dead team walking. But we've seen Dante, when you can confuse him and get pressure on him, look befuddled.
Second-guess
play
himself
great.
A little bit, yeah.
If you don't do that to him, he lights everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was out his top 3 wide receivers last week, and I thought outside of one throw that he tried to force into pressure or into double coverage, if you will, outside of that, he made NFL throw after NFL throw after NFL throw last week. And so, yeah, if your front seven can do it, that's a challenge. If Oregon's offensive line is healthy, that's another big caveat on this game. So I would put my upset meter at a 10. I'll put it at a 6.5. 6.5. The fear's
just a little
there,
above me.
A little bit above. It's
All
not
right.
just that we're going to walk in and cakewalk them. I do think the start of the game is important. If Oregon jumps out on them early and Washington's got to play catch-up, then it immediately disappears and you just let's go and cruise control the rest of the game. If your offense is clunky, they hit some big plays early, then there'll be something, right? The crowd gets into the game a little bit, then there's some momentum there. I want to go to the NFL in the next segment. Let's ask this quickly on the college football weekend. What's your favorite college football rivalry?
Outside of I don't.
Outside
have
of the Cougs and the Beavs, which we know is rivalry week. It's a big week for you guys.
Those Wascowie
Cougars. You got to get those Cougars.
I mean,
is it Michigan, Ohio State? You go with the easy one, or is there one that you enjoy more than that?
No, it's that one.
It's hard to pick against that, isn't it?
Yeah, we all grew up with it. It's the first one. Usually it starts our day off. And
9 a.m.
For our age, and maybe Swag had this for his age, but like for our age, David Boston and Charles Woodson just introduced us to a world of hatred that we hadn't really quite seen or understood to that level. And the snow usually plays a factor a little bit. I think aesthetically, the red and the silver versus the navy blue and the gold, like I think it's a perfect combination clash.
Yeah.
And yeah, the element they haven't won in a few years now, it makes it more interesting. There's really good ones, but for me, that's one that takes the cake.
Okay. Swag, same for you, or you got one you like better than that?
Well, the one that really got everybody's attention, it was really heated back in the day, was Miami, Florida State. In the late 90s, early 2000s. Now, they used to play that one early in the season.
I was going to say, that's the
years,
problem. It didn't get played this week.
So, yeah, but unfortunately, that hasn't been very relevant over the last
It also died
years.
a couple years, didn't it?
I think so, yeah. They don't play
there
every
were
year
probably a couple of years that it didn't happen for whatever reason. No, nothing's been as consistent as Ohio State and Michigan. I
can't wait for that game on Saturday, man.
I can't remember
wait for
a stretch of like 5 to 7 years where that game wasn't significant for at least one of the teams.
Yeah, there's always something to play for, something on the line.
Should Ohio State, and I know they won't, should they be more punished? Like, should you slide them down to 10 if they lose this game? They've not played.
Well, I'm curious. Yeah, because
since week 1.
What if Texas loses to A&M too? Because that's their best win on the year. And if Washington loses, they are not going to be ranked, so that won't be a ranked win.
The team I fear the most, I don't think Ohio State will slide all that much. They won't go out of the top 4.
You think
I'd be
out of the top
shocked
if they lose to Michigan?
If they lose to Michigan, I think Michigan propels up more.
Oh my God,
Michigan making the playoff is going to piss me off too.
I think
the resume's not that good.
Texas A&M, if they lose,
they got smoked by USC.
They got bludgeoned by
lost
USC.
to Oklahoma. They were lucky to beat Northwestern.
I know.
Like, let's not sit here and pretend as if Michigan's they struggled at home.
Yeah.
Would you want Michigan? If I gave you these choices, Michigan, Notre Dame at home.
I would take Michigan in a heartbeat before I took Notre Dame.
You want Michigan
without a doubt. But yeah,
I think
A&M's
the team that if they lose to Texas,
the most.
I think the committee.
How are you making that opinion? How is Ohio State barely tumbling and A&M's first loss? They're getting way
to his point. Ohio State won the title last year.
They won the
that
title.
That was last year.
I know, but
we can't play it like that.
That's the way we play.
You got to play this year.
That's why his committee's
Has
stupid.
Ohio State truly been in a game in the second half where you're like on upset alert?
No, this is my point.
Yeah,
A&M has been tested 5 times, a few of them on the road, and they've been victorious.
They were down 30-3, man.
Well, I think it was 27.
But are they just skating on thin ice? I mean,
I think it was 30.
Yeah, they were down 27 points. You're right. But yeah, I mean, why would you punish A&M more than Ohio State?
I'm not saying I would. I think the committee will.
Stupid.
None of it makes any sense. Have fun rivalry weekend, everybody. Is your coach staying? Is he going? We'll let you know if we get any news on Oregon State. Magic Act coming up top of the hour. NFL thoughts next on The Fan.
Work.
All right, welcome back in. The firm of Harrison Meringue coming up after us, but it will not be a Harrison Meringue edition.
You're not going to get the payoff.
Yeah.
No, we got a weak Bet Welcher here. He's claiming he lost his voice, claiming the face paint is in. A lot of excuses out of one Daniel Meringue this week.
I know.
He started last week with greeting me with this in the office, and now all of a sudden the next week it's, we were just a couple of plays away, and I'm not going to be there on Wednesday.
Also, like, if you make a bet on face paint, which I believe you guys did that before the game.
We did. On Friday, he came in and said, what do you want to bet? And I said, face paint's fine with me.
This is why I'm kind of anti the company he used to deliver his package.
Yes.
You can literally drive to places and get face paint.
You can. Yeah, it's available.
There's stores that exist that you can drive to.
They do exist.
The Blazers are on the road.
out there. One quick question here. Somebody said, are we sure if Oregon gets to the conference championship game if Michigan beats Ohio State and Oregon wins? If you go to the big website and look at the standings, they have Oregon 4th behind Michigan. Because Oregon's conference loss was at home and Michigan's was on the road. I think there's follow-up tiebreakers. I'm not 100% sure
we have it.
I'm about 98%
There's
sure on it.
There's 7 scenarios. If Michigan beats Ohio State, Oregon's in.
Yes.
If Oregon wins.
If Oregon wins this weekend. Oregon has
wins.
to win this weekend. Because you got to think the conference standings right now, they change, and then the tiebreaker scenarios change, and conference win-loss record of teams you've beaten will change, and all that kind of stuff switches up. So
The Big Ten sent out
Scenario 1, Ohio State, Indiana both win, they're in.
Yes.
Scenario 2, Ohio State loses to Michigan, it's Indiana and Oregon. Scenario 3, Oregon loses, Michigan wins, it's Indiana, Michigan. Scenario 4, Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, Michigan. So that would be an Indiana loss and an Ohio State loss.
Whoa, that would be weird. Indiana's not losing
They're
to
not
Purdue.
losing to Purdue.
Scenario 6, Michigan, Ohio State rematch
Yes.
a week 2 weeks later.
If Oregon and Indiana lose.
And then scenario 7, Ohio State, Indiana?
Indiana somehow?
Oh, Indiana can get in even with a loss.
Oh, okay. If other teams lose.
So you need Oregon and Michigan, obviously, to lose there. Indiana would stay in.
Not a lot of time here. We didn't orchestrate this very well. We did talk about the Thanksgiving slate yesterday. Let me ask you quickly before we go to the final hour.
I got some Turkey Day records I can throw at you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just looking quickly at the Sunday slate, because I think tomorrow you get a couple of really good games, and then Bengals-Ravens we'll see. Maybe the tryptophan hits. And then I'm excited for Friday. I don't know how the game's going to go, but Bears just like, can they do it? Can they win in Philly? Can they I'm interested to see how that game goes, even though Philly's not very fun to watch. I give you one game on Sunday to watch. What game are you watching?
Well, selfishly, I want my team to win 9 games, but that's...
Take your team out of the equation.
Yeah, taking my team out of it. Well, there's no McCarthy
Shador
against
is the most
Seahawks.
powerful black man in America, so that is true. Maybe
Can the Niners take down
the most powerful black man in America?
Texans, Colts. If the Texans win,
that's the one for you, huh?
Oh, they're kind of hot.
They are. I know.
It may not be aesthetically
Stroud's
pleasing.
supposed to play this week.
No.
Oh, he's out again.
He's out again. I thought he was trending.
Well, that's 2.5 games. He's
Maybe
missed that concussion.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But no, if the Texans take down the Colts and it starts to get tight atop
It's Bills Steelers. Because if the Ravens handle their
Is it really?
Wow. I love that you give one, and I supported you, and then I gave you one, and you went, really?
You want to watch the Steelers play football?
You want to watch the Bills lose at Pittsburgh and see how people feel? What about Pittsburgh losing and the Ravens winning?
The point I'm trying to make is there's not a lot of right answers here. The juicy games are tomorrow. Enjoy the football tomorrow because there's not a lot of good matchups on Sunday.
You're wrong. I'm right. Really?
I'll
What
tell you
kind
on
of
the
response
Johnson.
was that?
Really?
Really?
Really? You want to
That
watch
was like offensive to you.
Mason Rudolph? You want to watch him play football? What the hell's the matter with you,
Is
man?
Rodgers confirmed out?
I don't know.
I
He
think they're
flipped
taking
off
it
the
day by
cameras
day.
last week. Do you see that? Walking around Chicago.
It's weird. Their offense didn't really change at all.
It was the same team. Man, not a lot there. Where dirt was wrong. Lots to get to in the final hour. Sprague in the line at 9:30. Get your fake sponsors in 503-864-6326. We will do that at 9:30. But we start the final hour with a Wednesday edition of the Magic Hat. It's next on the Fam.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks up to 6th in the latest college football playoff committee rankings released Tuesday evening. They slide ahead of Ole Miss going into their game against Washington Saturday afternoon here on the Fan. Currently, the Ducks projected to host the ACC champion in a first-round playoff game. Things not going so well for Dana Altman's basketball team. They're now 0-2 at the Players Era Festival going on in Vegas after getting trounced by San Diego State 97-80 last night. Ducks close out the tournament Thanksgiving morning against Creighton. Pregame here on the Fan at 10:30 a.m., tip at 11. Trailblazers can lock up a spot in the NBA Cup's knockout round with a win over the Spurs tonight at Moda Center. Tip set for 7 o'clock. You can see it on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. Victor Wembanyama still out for San Antonio. Portland 1.5-point favorites. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. This is a Rivalry Week edition of Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Roto-Rooter on the Fan Sports Network.
All right, let's get to the Magic Hat. It's the Magic Hat.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Bring it on. Basically, a bunch of topics, and we have no idea where the sports gods want us to go.
Okay.
Until Swag pulls it out of his Magic Hat.
Hocus pocus, where are you?
Now you see me, now you don't.
It's magic.
It's simply what it is. It's magic. We don't know what's going to come out of this hat.
Where is that rabbit?
Abracadabra, MFers. Let's do the Magic Hat.
The only thing this hat's good for is the trash can.
Hey, let's do this final hour. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Whoa. Call that the Fan Sports Network. Casey out there, young Casey, noted Steeler honk.
Yeah.
Very upset with the Steeler slander in the last segment.
What did we say that was untrue?
Swag's taking shots over here, saying the Steelers are unwatchable. He also added that Aaron Rodgers, according to our Steeler insider, Casey, who will be producing the firm of Harris and Fisher, that Aaron Rodgers will be playing this weekend.
Good to know.
Okay.
So, according to insider.
That will not change any of how
Casey.
I bet. And they scored 28 points last weekend. So I think their offense is mid at best. And if their defense has a random great day, they can win the game. They also could get Josh Allen.
Sign me up for Chargers Raiders, baby. Throw the records out the window when those teams play.
If they lose to the Bills and they drop to 6-6, would you guys wager that this becomes the first time he finishes below 500, or will you just never do that until you see it?
It's one of those I got to see it.
Yeah,
let me look at the rest of the schedule.
Because they still have two.
They have two Baltimore games.
Against Baltimore, assuming Lamar stays healthy.
I get you there. Let's not sit here and act like Baltimore is steamrolling people right now.
No,
they've been ugly against Cleveland and ugly against the Jets the last 2 weeks.
Sure.
That was uncomfortable for like 3 quarters against the Jets at home. You get the Ravens twice, the Dolphins at home, the Browns and the Lions on the road. There is a very good chance if they lose this weekend that it happens, but I'm not willing to go
I
there.
swear on my mom if they tie.
There's a tie in there
I know
somewhere.
what the record's going to end up being.
You know it's going to happen.
8-8-1.
All right, let's get to the Magic Hat, ladies and gentlemen. For those new to the segment, we all put something into the Magic Hat. Swag pulls it out of the hat, and then we talk about it. We all have submissions into the Magic Hat, sports, non-sports. Let's see what we got today.
Food from the grave.
Yes, this was mine. Been thinking about this for about a week and a half. So one big staple for me, I don't have it every year consistently the way I once did as a young lad. I grew up having a lot of pie options. I'm a big pie guy, as we talked about earlier, and I used to go to my aunt's house, and they would have legitimately like 8 different pie options.
Whoa.
The chocolates, the lemons, the apples, the pumpkins, and my favorite was always lemon meringue. I love lemon meringue pie. Not great at making it, love to consume it. Anyways, my grandma always made lemon meringue pie. She passed about 6 months after my oldest was born, so she passed about 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I got that I wish I would have printed out or at least framed is her lemon meringue recipe. Now, it's not any really different than anybody else's lemon meringue. It wasn't unique in any way. It was just her writing down what she needed ingredients-wise and how she made it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can still get that, but I was going to ask you guys, in thinking about my grandma making lemon meringue pie, do you guys have any deceased family members that you have carried on their recipes
I do.
for Thanksgiving and how important that is for you?
Not necessarily Thanksgiving, but I also have...
Or a holiday.
It's a holiday
you want to
thing.
describe it.
My grandfather used to make, it's a traditional Swedish or Scandinavian drink, glug or glug. It could go either way. Glug.
Okay.
And it is, I mean, I'm telling you, it's delightful. It's fun. If you go to IKEA, you can buy a non-alcoholic version of it, like the mixture of it. It's just think
Glug
of like
in a jug?
Glug in a jug. I mean, think of like a hot apple cider kind of. There's cinnamon sticks and there's raisins and there's, but he used to use 100 proof grain alcohol. And the funny stories back in the day were that he would taste test it throughout the day because you let it simmer on the stove all day. It's a warm drink that he would be blacked out by 3 o'clock because he's taste testing the glug. And then as you taste test it, there's grain alcohol in there and we all know how that goes. But I have his original recipe that he wrote it down. It's in my kitchen. I have it framed. My mom gave it to me.
That's cool.
And every year, it's our Christmas decorations are up, so it's up. So that's our go-to.
Do you make the drink?
I have made it before. I don't make it necessarily every year. If we're not hosting, I'm not gonna make it and take it. But the last time we hosted, I made it on the stove.
My only Thanksgiving tradition, and I want Swag's answer because I'm curious. I'm going to start it this year. Is I'm going to make my kids watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles tonight.
It's a good go-to.
I'm surprised you don't start that with Teddy, of just making you and your wife and Teddy
make some glug.
A little glug.
We might have to this year. Teddy was a little too young last year. We're sub 1.
Not ready for that 100 proof?
Not ready for the 100 proof yet, but now that he's almost 2, I think he's, he might be of age.
Are we teething?
Oh, God, dude, it's been nonstop.
So when I was teething, the story goes, my mom used to...
when you were a baby?
When I was a baby.
Yeah, not when your baby was a baby.
No, when I was a baby, my mom, they'd pour a little shot of rum and she'd dip her finger in and take rum and rub it on my gums to ease the pain.
That's a real, I think people still do that.
I think with the glug, you could...
We're on to something here. Right?
She ever rub it on her nipples? It's tough when they're teething and they're still eating, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Any recipe that you carry over?
No. I don't. The family was very traditional. I mean, it was just your basic
You
stuff.
didn't have one dish that you liked that somebody made the most?
No, nothing sticks out. Now, my sister-in-law, they have a tradition. I can't stand broccoli, but there's a broccoli cheese casserole from her mom, and I don't know if it goes back how many, whatever. But for any holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, that broccoli cheese casserole will show up.
I'm down for a broccoli cheese casserole. I could get down on that.
I can't stand anything about broccoli.
You're out on broccoli, yeah.
It's weird. I'm weird with grief. Like when something bad happens to somebody or somebody passes away, I'm pretty awful at consoling because I just view it of hey, I'm sorry that person in your life's dead. What do you say there, right? It's already
very complicated.
awful.
There's nothing you can't say. Yeah.
One of the weird things that makes me a little emotional is thinking about the idea of watching my grandma walk in with that pie.
Yes, and here's the pie. I made the pie.
Just the idea that, that person's not at our Thanksgiving get-together. I don't see that person for that holiday.
It was
anymore.
a staple every year.
Yeah.
No, the only thing, my grandma, my mom's mom, and they lived in Lake Oswego. So that was my grandparents. If one of us got sick at school or something, because both my parents worked, they would come pick us up. We'd go over. There were always
butlers,
cookies in the cookie jar.
Yeah. Cookies. What kind of cookies?
It varied depending on the time of year.
Sometimes they were the store-bought sandwich cookies, not necessarily Oreos, but the shortbread
generic
ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Mother's brand.
Yeah.
Sometimes there were the ice molasses cookies. Sometimes there were homemade chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. My great grandma always got the molasses ones. She homemade them, or because she had a cookie jar, routinely you go in there and grab a couple. She'd get the Keebler chocolate stripe. And I go, you didn't make any? And she's like, I had help from Keebler this time.
My elves were helping me.
Well done. Good first one.
All right.
What do we got?
What do we got here? The best thing for 25 days. This is mine.
Okay.
So anytime you purchase something, obviously online, you get on the email list and then you get barraged with 8 billion emails of take advantage here, whatever.
I'm somehow on a Mets fan shop emailing list, and I don't know how that happened.
So,
and I've unsubscribed 4 times, and they keep sending me emails. Mets, you want your Mets gear? No, I don't.
But this time of year, you start getting like the advent calendar that's gone for adults. So you have, there's a beer one, there's a wine one, there's a whiskey one, is there anything, if somebody were to get you an advent calendar now at your age, what would get your attention? Like 25 days, I get this
for the next 25
every
days.
single day. What are you going to be excited like you were in a kid to get up? Can I open it? Can I open it for my piece of chocolate?
I don't know if there is anything. I don't know.
It'd be really tough because I don't really drink. And I don't even partake in the flour much. The one that I actually almost bought an advent calendar the other day. We went to a store, and I saw it sitting there all by itself, and I almost did it, but I stopped myself from doing it. It was a Ninja Turtles live-action figures advent. So you take the cardboard from the calendar, it makes a mini city. They give you the figurine Ninja Turtles, and every day is another weapon that you add to the Ninja Turtle.
That's pretty
like
cool.
Like the belt and the nunchucks.
Now we got swords.
Yeah, and Raphael's weapon and like Donatello's stick. I almost did it. And I'm like, nah, don't spend this $25.
That's not worth it. Where am I going to put this? Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I enjoy my substances, but I don't necessarily, not on like a daily basis where it's like I got to have it at this time every day. So I don't know if there's anything as an adult that would do it.
To answer it, though, to give you a response, because I'm curious, I feel like you have a response here. I would say a mini recipe. If you give me like a dinner idea, even that could be interesting. Like 25 days of a dinner idea.
Oh, you give me like a recipe to cook for tonight?
Yeah, and it's something that's not too complicated.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think for me, because obviously with the Traeger and cooking, I have almost 2 shelves of an entire cupboard in my kitchen that is all spices.
Oh, big spice guy.
So if you had like a unique spice pack with the recipe or something like that.
Now you've got my attention.
To do a little, make a little, a meal or something like that. I've looked at the whiskey ones or something like that would be fun.
But are you drinking whiskey every day? Are you an everyday drinker?
I think by definition,
I can be. I'm trying not to be.
Well, in that case,
not hard to get me there. But usually those, it's just one of the little. It's like 1 shot worth or something.
Sure. I mean, you're not having a full cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a little swig.
But
I can be.
Yeah, but if you need me to be, I will be there for you.
The spice one's a good one. That's a good pull. I'd do that.
Yeah. But I think that would be. Because that's just something. Because you're like, okay, if you had the means to like buy fish and beef and whatever, like every night, your grocery bill is obnoxious. Everybody's grocery bill is already obnoxious.
Yes, it is.
So it's like, how many damn things can I do with chicken? How many damn things can I do with?
That's true. That's a struggle.
Could you do one that like it's a delivery, but it's an advent delivery, and so every day what you get is you get 25 random little gifts, and what you decide to do with those gifts is entirely up to you. You either can keep them and utilize them, or you can re-gift and say, hey, they did the shopping for me.
There you go.
Because I got like 25.
I'm all done.
It's like your own personal white elephant sort of thing.
Can you find a gift that you get every day for somebody, whether that be work or your friendships or your families? Like,
little stuff piles up.
That would be something I'd
the barrage of adult-themed advent calendars, and I'm curious if somebody got something for it. Because you would normally present them this Thanksgiving week. Here you go.
Yeah, you got to start. The
so
first
just
is on Monday.
Yeah, you get started. Here you go.
I mean, I'm also a fat ass too, so just having a normal advent calendar, I wouldn't be opposed to either. You give me a nice piece of chocolate after dinner every night.
There you go.
It's like, a piece of dark chocolate, I'll eat that.
My kids want one because they've experienced it before.
Oh, once you get it, you're just not going back.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to get you that lame piece of little chocolate. That's all you guys want.
Cardboard chocolate doesn't even taste that good. Let's get one more in here, and then we'll go to break.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Well, good full job.
Says,
good full job.
May I meet you?
Oh, man, dude, we're kind of against it. This is tough.
Do we need to carry it over? Do we not have enough time? May I meet you? Should we get to that next?
I want you to noodle on this, okay?
Okay.
So maybe we carry over and I'll tee you up. This guy's name is Bill Ackman. He's really into the political landscape. He also is a CEO of Pershing Square.
He's a billionaire. Yeah,
he's a super rich billionaire. He is. I want to show you how to touch this dude is. He tweeted this. This was 2 weeks ago, so I've been holding this one for the hat for a while. He said, I hear many young men that they find it difficult to meet young women in a public setting. In other words, the online culture has destroyed the ability to spontaneously meet strangers. As such, I thought I would share a few words that I used in my youth to meet someone I found compelling. I would ask, may I meet you? Before engaging further in conversation. I almost never got to know. It inevitably enabled the opportunity for further conversation. I met a lot of really interesting people this way. I think the combination of proper grammar and politeness was the key to effectiveness. You might give it a try. And yes, I think it should also work for women seeking men as well as same-sex interactions. Just 2 cents from an older, happily married guy concerned about our next generation's happiness and population replacement rates. If you went to a bar today and you walked up to somebody you found attractive and you said, may I meet you? Do you have any shot of succeeding in further courtship in that situation?
Probably get a drink thrown in my face.
I want somebody to try. There's got to be a single person listening that's going out tonight, and I want to report back on Monday. If you see a hot at the bar, walk up and say, may I meet you? And report back on what the response
or
is.
they just bust out hysterically laughing, like uncontrollably
may
laughing.
I meet you?
Nearly fall off their bar stool.
You want to go steady?
May I meet you?
May I meet? What year is it? 1937? Is this pre-World War II?
It's 18.
What are you dealing with here, Bill Ackman? God. Oh, rich people out of touch. Gotta love it. Pay more taxes. Let's get to more Magic Hat. We'll do it next on The Fan. All right, welcome back in. More magic had to come. Oh, Bill Ackman. Suk has chimed in. Big fan of the glug. Big glug guy.
Well, you said it's a Scandinavian drink, correct?
It's a very Scandinavian drink.
A Viking.
He is a Viking.
And he says,
familiar with it.
If you're going to do it, you got to do it with a Viking horn.
I do not own a Viking horn. I got to get one of those.
Oh.
He also actually he took a photo of it. He has it.
Oh, he does?
The mix for it.
Oh, the mix? Yeah.
The spice mix?
Yeah, I got the whole recipe. It's pretty cool. The IKEA one's okay, but it's not the same. You got to do it naturally.
Look, we're all going to create our own memories and whatnot. That sounds like it could be a fun little thing to pass on with just your house of you, Teddy, and the missus having some glog every year.
Drinking some grain alcohol until we're, passed out on the kitchen
You
floor.
can do a virgin.
Sounds like, we're not going to do a virgin. Come on. All right, what do we got?
Oh, wait, no. Do we have to finish?
More Bill Ackman thoughts, or did we wrap
Bill
up Bill
Ackman?
Ackman?
I cannot believe some of the stuff people are willing to post online, which makes me actually want to be online less.
Yes. Bill Ackman's horrible for society.
To
in every way, shape,
such
and form.
a billionaire idiot and out of touch. And there's actually people, he largely gets trolled, but there are people in this like defending and bootlicking. And I'm just like,
they're all bots. Everybody's fake. None of it's real.
You're right on that too. But like no human being goes up to another human being.
Never been done in the history of life.
And says, "May I meet you?"
Yes. Past the year 1947, that has not been used in public.
I think in 47 you're made fun of for saying that.
If it did, you get laughed off of the bar. No chance that's going to work. But somebody try it. Hopefully we got a case study guinea pig that wants to
do you remember how you picked up your wife? Like, did you do a line or like how did it?
Well, she was our server at Buffalo Wild Wings. So I didn't have to have a pickup line because she came over and had to take our order and start talking to us.
But
so
that's not how you like started dating. We hadn't gone there in like a year and a half, and you randomly like, yo, you remember so and so? Like, yeah, I do.
I remember that.
She reached out.
Well, she slid into my DMs. That's how we furthered the conversation. She slid it. I mean, I give her
P1.
to my grave. I will take that with me. That she was the one that slid into my DMs, not the role reverse. And she denies this at length, but I have the facts to prove it. I have the evidence to show she was the one that reached out. She was moving on from the job, and she sent me a message saying I'm not going to work there anymore. So I just want to let you know it's been fun to blah, blah, over the years. And I said, well, if you're not going to work there anymore, why don't we go get it? You want to go get a drink sometime? And she said, yeah, that's how it started.
I think the one best thing he has done. Well, you've done a few things that are all right, but
not really. No.
One thing that you've done I've been grateful for is I had, and I will not name names, but I've worked with people at this company that like their introduction of, hey, this is who I'm dating to me was photo of insert person in a G-string. And I'm like,
I don't want to see that.
I don't know why you're showing me this photo.
That could be the mother of your children.
Right.
Never know when
and the reaction was always like, what? Good job, dude.
Now I've seen your wife half naked. That's a little weird.
And I'm glad you didn't go, hey, remember so-and-so?
Hey, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. He's up top, man.
All right. We roll on. Mr. Doubtfire.
Finally, this one's mine. Now, look, this is scumbag behavior.
Scumbag behavior.
Scumbag behavior. Is there any part of you
that thinks he was right in that movie
that says at the end, kind of impressed with what you did here, okay? Let me lay out the scenario for you. This happened in Italy. We have an actual Mr. Doubtfire on our hands.
Oh.
Could not see his children, so he had to sneak and find
Slightly different version. This Mr. Doubtfire is a man who lived with his mom. His mom was 84 years old. He is 56, okay? Follow along. His mom dies, passes away. This man then decides, because I guess in Italy she was getting a massive government stipend every month in forms of retirement paychecks.
I know where you're going.
She dies, 84 years, natural. She didn't kill her, natural causes. She died on her own. He zips her up into a sleeping bag and just leaves her there. Like, doesn't alert anybody. Just a sleeping bag, throw it in the corner of the room. Don't think about it.
Okay.
He then goes through a transformation. Now, he didn't get surgeries. But if you look, I'll tweet out the link. You can go read the story. The pictures are somewhat like he puts on a wig. He goes makeup because I guess the way it works in Italy is you have to go and pick up the check in person.
Of course.
So he dresses up as his mom, and this goes on for the better part of 3 years. He was making north of $70,000 a year, just living off of her pensions.
Oh my God!
It's wild how much they look alike. Now, finally, they discovered it. But he essentially had to go under a Mrs. Doubtfire style transformation and that an eagle-eyed government employee finally picked up on the scheme after apparently noticing masculine features, including his low voice and thick neck. And they looked at the picture side by side and realized this guy was dressing up like his dead mom who was stuck in a sleeping bag in his house.
So, okay, a couple things. I just found the photo. He looks like her the same way the Chainsaw Massacre guy who cuts your face off and wears it looks like her. It looks like he's wearing a face on his face.
It's very weird.
Second follow-up. So she's in a sleeping bag.
She's dead in a sleeping bag. I believe it went on. Let me
Where do you put that body? Because
her body, by the way, had mummified inside the sleeping bag.
Well, yeah, and also how bad does that smell?
It can't smell good. How do you live with that in your house?
I thought you were going to go a nice, clean,
No,
fun,
I was going
like,
dirty. We went ugly the
get
day
visitation
before.
rights with his kids.
No.
In that case,
Dead mom in the room.
Yeah.
Bringing home 60 G's a year.
Disgusting.
No.
And there's a lot wrong with this. Look, you
They
need
actually
the money.
just did the official autopsy, and they have not been concluded. But he is also being investigated.
I would
for
absolutely investigate
any sort of
somebody.
wrongdoing.
Yeah, if you're capable of doing this, you're capable of killing her.
No.
An Italian Mr. Doubtfire.
Wow.
I didn't. That was the different
You like
direction
that?
I thought you were going to go.
You like that? Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, we got time for one more. A
Okay.
Christmas-ish for Suns fans.
Mm.
We hinted at this yesterday. Matt Ishbia, owner of the Suns, being sued by his
Minority
two
owners.
biggest minority owners.
Yeah.
And it's going to get ugly.
It already is. He's countersued.
And so finally the suit has been able to become public. Sued in Delaware.
Yep.
And they're claiming he is just liquidating the hell out of the assets of the Suns for his back
He's
into
using
his
it
own
all for his
companies.
business benefits.
And
interest rate reasons.
draining it dry.
Yep.
And so yeah. So after the Sarver nonsense, Ishbia comes in, everybody's all fired up that he's spending money, but he's not spending his money. He's spending everybody else's money.
Yikes.
Should be noted, though, the countersuit, he claims that they're just mad that they can't get a bigger ownership stake. That this is all not true.
This is all made up news.
Now, we're going to have to get to legal documents here. That's what discovery is going to be for. But
innocent until proven guilty.
If this is true, I think Silver might be in a situation where you're forcing another sale.
No kidding.
What is wrong with the NBA right now?
Well,
you got gambling. Not that they're the only sport that's going through a gambling scandal, but ownership situations are weird.
Yeah.
The Ballmer stuff and the Kawhi stuff and the money under the table.
Yep. All-Star game. They don't know what they're doing
All-Star
there.
game's not great.
Yeah.
You just had a head coach of a team get arrested by the FBI.
I don't know, man. It's attracting a lot of crazy.
Yeah.
And I wonder if any media partners would tell you privately they regret being a part of the new multi-billion-dollar deal. But
how's it working for Peacock so far? Have we seen numbers on that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how they're measuring.
I just have a hard time as a sports fan, and maybe Youngs disagree with this, of the street. Like, I'm not going to open up Peacock to watch an NBA game. If I'm scrolling on my log, and it's like, hey, the Lakers are playing, insert whoever. And I'm like, oh, all right, there's nothing else on TV, and I'm sitting around all watch. I'm not going to actively go to your app, sit through commercial breaks, and not change the channel just to watch a regular season NBA game.
I hear you, but like when you have last night, you have a doubleheader on the Peacock app. I know the Magic blew them out and nobody needed to watch that game, and most people didn't even stay up and watch the Clipper-Laker game. But
yeah,
like I had nothing. What else was I going to watch? I don't care about college basketball.
Well, you're an NBA guy. You're going to go there and
right.
do it. I'm just saying, for me as a non-diehard of the sport, this is the thing. Same thing. They're a much bigger deal in the MLS. I'm not comparing them, but that's the only concern I had going to Amazon games and Peacock games largely throughout the course of the week is I'm just not going to seek that. I'll do it for a Thursday night game because it's football and we're all psychos. I'm not doing that for any. I don't do it for baseball, and I'd like baseball, but unless my team is playing on the Apple TV game, I'm not bringing that up on Friday night.
I can't answer your question, what's wrong with the league. It's just a really bad run of awful headlines. What I will say is this. Those games last night were not amazing.
No.
And I know you didn't watch the Magic game, so you don't know that Franz Wagner got interviewed last night.
Franz Wagner?
Yeah. Got interviewed. And they were talking about the game. And the reporter threw out, just as like a gesture to the NBA, hey, cup game, you guys' record, going to the quarters. And whether you want to believe this or not, I thought it was interesting. He responded and was like, yeah, we want to go to Vegas. And we know Detroit wants to go to Vegas. Like, I don't know, that's just going to Vegas thing. and nothing more.
We want to go party, free trip to Vegas for a week.
But I am kind of wondering if you polled players internally and they could vote privately, has the Cup gotten these guys to care just within themselves? I don't care about the fans.
There's a financial reward, right, for the players?
Yeah, you get more money.
There's some cash bonuses for them.
But he cited Detroit specifically as if, like, we hate them and they want to win this, so we want to win this. And just something to kind of ponder a little bit is, like, one way you get more people that don't care about something to care about it a little bit.
The players have to care.
Is when the players care about it. And he said that as a nonchalant answer that seemed genuine. And I'm like, oh.
I'll use hockey as an example. They're the Four Nations thing that they came up with. Now, that's different because it's national pride.
Yeah.
But you got to have the players buying in and fighting each other at the start of the game. Everybody's like, oh, my God, this means a lot. And now I'm more invested
The Olympics
as a fan.
coming up in February with the NHL players back in that hockey tournament.
Yeah. Ohtani's going into the World Baseball Classic.
He's going to play in the World Baseball Classic. So when it matters to the players and they're committed,
you can feel it when you watch
it. You can totally feel it.
Yeah.
So, but no, this basically the minority owners are saying Ishbia did a whole bunch of transactions with his other companies within the Suns that he didn't tell them about.
His mortgage companies.
And his mortgage companies, and he's just.
He gave himself, like, they rent out their space to the WNBA Mercury team, right? I can't figure out, I don't know enough about business to explain this other than he used the business interest rates for his company through the arena
he did a
source
lease,
it out.
And it's way above market rates that they could get from
what
institutional lenders and all of that sort of stuff. And Ishbia is just saying, no, this is a shakedown. You want to sue me? Come on, bring it on.
Yeah.
He's not settling. So, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
If I'm Adam Silver, I'm just walking away at this point. How much is Adam Silver worth?
No, you're not.
How much does he make a year?
Probably $20 million.
20 to 30 million.
Like, I don't want to deal with this. How old is Adam Silver?
Who cares? You make $20 million every year. You need to be friends with the owner, and you're good.
Constant headache.
Would you care about what you said about you in a random market if you made $20 million a year?
No, I wouldn't care about what people are saying about me, but just dealing with, like, putting out fire after fire after fire after fire after fire. When's the last time they had a 6-month stretch where nothing negative happened for the league? It's like one of those days in the workplace until since our last accident boards, and every day it's 0 for the NBA. Every day.
Yeah, I'd also argue he's not putting the fires out. He does a pretty piss poor job of trying to put them out.
That's a valid point. All right, we went a little long. Magic Hat, well done, everybody. Well done. Let's get to Sprague in the line. Get your fake sponsors in. We'll do some gambling next. First, here's us with a update.
This is a Rivalry Week edition of Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Big's Chicken. Try their smoked and fried wings tossed with a perfect dry rub, served with a trio of killer sauces. Menus at bigschicken.com. First on the Fan. Friday will be the 5A and 6A state football championship games. You can watch them on the CW, the 6A game at 12:30. Between Lake Oswego and Central Catholic, the 5A game at 5 o'clock between Summit and Silverton. Those 4 teams combined in the last decade have accounted for 6 state championships.
High school football is over. What are you talking about?
Now for Swag, he's going to be on the WB.
I'm gonna watch. You and Nemec are going to be on the call. I know Brenna's going to be on the sideline.
Green will be on the sidelines.
I'll watch that. That's a Ryan Buckley production, so I'll support that all day.
Shout out to our guy Buck.
Not so much animal news, more so in the animal kingdom. Crikey! Robert Irwin wins season 34 of Dancing with the Stars.
Is that the kid?
That's his son.
His son. He beat Topanga. That was the only other.
Topanga got eliminated pretty quickly. Yeah, Robert Irwin, if you don't follow Dancing with the Stars, they're on season 34. I'll never forget wanting Jerry Rice to win in season 2. Robert Irwin, who's doing a lot of really good things for conservation. He seems like genuinely a good kid. He won last night Dancing with the Stars, and, his dad obviously pretty big in the animal kingdom. There's your animal update.
I love that. One of my Magic Hats that we didn't get to today that's not it's timely, so I want to talk about it now. I ended up being the trendsetter in my neighborhood, and I'd like to give you credit for this. I was a little worried about putting the lights up and turning them on and neighbors judging me, and in the aftermath of doing it, I got them up last week. The lights were turned on, so we're all set. All of a sudden, 3 neighbors in the next 2 days, what'd they do? Lights went up, baby.
Here we go.
I'm the new trendsetter of the neighborhood. It felt really good to look around and be like, hey, I'm not the only one. We're in this together, guys.
I'm not afraid anymore.
There you go. More high school football, animal stories, and holiday decorations in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live. Of Dirt and Sprague, brought to you by Roto-Rooter on the Fan Sports Network.
Sprague in the line.
Sprague in the line.
Sprague in the line.
Sprague in the line.
right, zero time to mess around here. Sprague and Line brought to you by Sprague in the Bedroom. Oh, no, that one's from last week. Sorry. Sprague and Line brought to you by Swag doing his best Myles Garrett in his nut-hugging joggers. Somehow less offensive than taking a Sprague pick.
What helps ease the pain of a triple backdoor?
We'll find out. Sprague and Line brought to you by Pie-Dominating Cakes. Happy Thanksgiving, Dirt,
Hell
Sprague,
yeah.
and Swag.
Hell yeah.
Sprague and Line brought to you by Green Bean Casserole. The only Thanksgiving food is disappointing as a Sprague pick.
Thank you.
I like green bean casserole. I know
You're
I'm weird.
so gross.
Sprague and Line brought to you by Pitching a Tent for Thanksgiving football. The only thing that is harder than my 10 out of 10 is Sprague deciding how he will lose his money. Sprague and Line brought to you by Thanksgiving at the In-Laws. Hearing your wife's uncle ramble about conspiracy theories is still more enjoyable than hearing Sprague give bad takes. All right, there's more there, but that's all we got time for.
All
We
right.
win a combined. Are you ready for this?
No, it's not good.
Combined 2 and 7 last week. 2 and 7. I was 1 and 2. Sprague was 1 and 2. Swag got triple backdoored.
Yep.
The only win I had was the under of Vikings and Packers. The only win Sprague had was the Brader game. The Browns did cover and they won outright.
That was my best bet of the weekend.
It was, and the Seahawks, Pats, and Eagles all failed to cover for Jason Swigard. So, season standings now. Sprague, your 1 and 2 weekend. You're back at 500 at 18 and 18.
Hello.
My 1 and 2 put me at 15 and 21. And Swag's 0 and 3 dropped him 10 games below 500 to 13 and 23. Wow. That's where we're at. Sprague, the T-box is yours. First pick.
I'm going to start. We got some gobbling games here. I'll be gobbling pretty hard tomorrow morning. I'm excited about this one. I got some fun end of the show Thanksgiving stats I could throw at you, too.
Okay.
And by the way, why two teams are always playing this game. I don't know if you know that history.
I don't know if I know that history.
I'm going to start with the Lions-Packers. First game, the turducken game. I am going to take the Lions at home, -2.5, sub a field goal. I don't think the Lions played particularly well. I'm a little concerned about their defense, and I didn't think Jared Goff was very good. So maybe we find out this weekend there should be more cause for concern for why the Lions are not in the playoffs. But I think there's a little bit of a revenge here. I also think Green Bay's playing funky. I'll take a field goal advantage here. I'll take Lions -2.5 against the Packers.
That's my first pick, too. It's the only bet I've loved all week. And the first thing I looked at the board was Lions on Thursday. Redemption game for them. They didn't cover this last week. Kind of got ugly. I think maybe they were looking ahead to this game. Got embarrassed by the Packers in week 1. We'll take the Lions sub a field goal.
I'm going to skip the Thanksgiving Day games.
Wow. Move.
3 games. You're
Save it for the weekend? All right.
Yeah, we'll go.
We got to make a parlay, too. A show parlay for Thanksgiving.
Maybe I'll dip into that for there. The Jags have a chance to be in first place of the AFC South by the end of Sunday, which is amazing.
That is crazy to think.
It's crazy. The Titans,
The Titans.
They're the Titans. They backdoor you.
Yep.
But that Jaguars defense is a little ferocious, and I think what they did to the Seahawks will get their attention in film all week. Jags are laying less than a touchdown, so I will lay 6.5.
6.5. Okay. Sprague, pick number 2.
I'm going to stay on Thanksgiving. I'm pretty excited to watch this one. I cannot wait to see the Kansas City Red in Dallas against the Dallas Whites in turquoise pants.
That's going to look good.
That's aesthetically going to be very pleasing to me. I don't really have a rooting interest in this. I do hate Dallas, and Kansas City has robbed me of joy twice in the Super Bowl. I'm going to bet points here, Bob. I'm going to take the over of 52.5. Short week. Defenses, Kansas City's defense not as great as I think they have been in years past, and I don't think Dallas' defense is all that much better, even though Quentin Williams has been pretty good as a Cowboy.
Yeah.
I'm betting points here. I'm going to go over 52.5 KC in Dallas.
Nice to jump back on the Cowboy over gravy train. I would like to publicly apologize for this next bet. It's not fun in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to root for it, but I just have to do what my gut tells me. My gut tells me that the Niners and Browns is about to be one of the ugliest games we've ever seen in mankind history.
More rooting against points for Andrew.
It is. It's the only one I had last week, so I'm riding a heater. Not a heater, but I'm riding a cold streak. I don't know what the hell I would ride, but they're on the road in Cleveland this weekend. The Niners are. And the Niners defense playing pretty well. Cleveland's defense is dominant at home. Nobody can score on them. Brock just threw 3 picks.
Yep.
Shador's not. This to me is like 12-7.
I'm with you.
Ugly, ugly, ugly. Now, this is where it gets ugly. You know what the number is? 36.5. I'm going to take the under of 36.5 in Browns and 49ers.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what. I want to bet my team, but I'm also going to jump on that train with you this weekend.
That is such a low over-under.
It's a terrible football
game.
The closest thing to a wagon right now in the NFL are the LA Rams. They are going to Carolina. I don't think that matters. And I am going to dabble back.
Yes.
The Big Wood's still in here?
Yes,
it is.
Whoa.
-10.
Triple backdoor doesn't scare you away from more
no,
big wood,
because
huh?
I think that Rams defense might knock Bryce Young out. I don't know if Bryce Young finishes the game.
You know what's funny, Swag? Before we came back, I tell Dirt, I go, you like the Panthers plus the 10 in Carolina? Now you're going Rams minus the 10. I'm riding big wood. Look, what's the one thing to fix when you get backdoored? You keep going. You get off that high horse, your legs stop being sore, and you ride it again. Seahawks at home against Max Brosmer?
Hey.
Minus the 11.5?
Yeah.
Seahawks all day. 27-10.
I also contemplated the under in that game because Seattle's defense has been pretty good against bad offenses at home. Also, you got the history there with Darnold playing against the D. Like, there's a little, you tell me that game's 21-7 or 31-0. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
O'Connell's going to be longing for Darnold midway third quarter in this game.
Yes, he is. My last pick, I'm also going to go to another Thanksgiving game, but I'm not going to take the over-under side of it. I'm just going to take the team side of it. Look, Dallas is a fun watch, don't get me wrong. I think last week was a massive win for Kansas City to realize we're still in the heat of this. They beat a pretty good Colts team at home and had to get going in the fourth quarter. I don't buy Dallas against a defense like this being able to win. I know they just did against Philly, but Kansas City has a functioning quarterback. I'm going to take the Chiefs tomorrow minus 3.5 in Dallas.
Let's go to Sunday night in the nation's capital. The Broncos are feeling awfully good about themselves.
It's a funky line, is it not?
Yeah, which has me a little.
Jaden Daniels sniffing around trying to play, which I think
trying
would be
to play. I don't know that that's
Denver's
a wise
offensive
idea.
woes.
The Denver defense. You don't want his first game back against that defense.
It might be your best chance to win, though.
It's less than a touchdown. I think the Broncos understanding that, and Sean Payton is one to not let up. He's not one to say, oh, we're controlled. No, he wants to put the foot down. He wants that number one seed. He wants the bye, all of those things. I'll lay 6 with the Broncos.
Quick question on that. Is there a coach in the NFL that doesn't want the number one seed and does let up?
I think there are different
Sometimes
coaches.
we say cliche things, but we're
No,
like,
I
Sean
understand
Payton.
that.
I just love the scenarios we come up with in our heads to back our own bets when we're all horrible gamblers, but like the theories that we cook up of why they're going to hit.
I'm like,
it
what
was
coach
one
in
of
the
my
NFL?
favorite things about Sprague the line. I can't pick a game right to save my life right
and he
now.
might be right. I've looked at that line all week, but I'm like, what coach in the NFL does let up and says, I don't want the one seed?
We want the hard road to get there. Maybe the Giants would because that's the only way they can win Super Bowls. There you go, Sprague the line.
There we go.
I am on the Lions tomorrow minus 2.5, the under of 36.5 in Browns Niners, and the Chiefs tomorrow minus 3.5. Sprague also on the Lions tomorrow. He's on the over of the Chiefs Cowboys 52.5 and the Seahawks minus 11.5. That game's in Seattle, right at home against the Vikings. And then Swag is on the Jags minus 6.5 in Tennessee. The Rams laying Big Wood against the Panthers, and the Broncos Sunday Night Football minus 6 in DC. We'll wrap it up on our pre-Turkey Day next on the Fan.